100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 49 degrees at 10 o'clock. I'm David Ballarado. City Controller Rachel Heisler set to hold a news conference at this hour to talk about the city's 2025 spending. Sources tell KDKA Radio that Heisler will announce the city had a $44 million deficit last year. News Radio KDK's Tamira Rush is covering. CBS News correspondent Jim Crisfillo reports on the big error involving Medicare.
The Trump administration accidentally published the Social Security numbers of healthcare providers in a new Medicare database portal, according to the Washington Post. It was created by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services to help seniors look up which doctors and medical providers accept which insurance plans.
The database was presented as an overdue improvement and part of the Trump administration's initiative to modernize healthcare technology. On Thursday, the Senate failed to move forward with a Democratic resolution declaring the Trump White House is at the end of the War Powers Act's limit of 60 days of military action in the conflict with Iran. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth told a Senate hearing that since there's a ceasefire, the clock is no longer ticking. CBS News White House reporter Olivia Rinaldi says the administration is going to let the deadline pass as Republicans in Congress will not take the issue head on.
The Pentagon officials testified that the cost of the war was about $25 billion, but R. Ellie Watson and Olivia Gazis have reported that it's actually closer to $50 billion. And the reason why it is that price tag is because the Pentagon is factoring in the cost of the damage and destruction so far at some of the U.S. bases in the region, also the Reaper drones that have been lost.
A major grocery chain is one step closer to opening its first store in the Pittsburgh area. News Radio KDK's Tamira Rush has details.
Wegmans Food Markets has officially purchased land in Cranberry Township, locking in plans for its first local store. The Pittsburgh Business Times reports the company paid just over $14 million for a 13-acre site at Cranberry Springs, where a 115,000-square-foot store is planned. Officials say site work is already underway, with construction expected later this year. The store is still projected to open in 2027 and could bring between 400 and 500 jobs to the region. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
The latest spike in gas prices has some people protesting at gas stations. CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace has more.
Protesters in front of a Speedway station in Warren, Michigan are holding signs that read, MAGA, Make American Gas Affordable. Jill Murphy organized the protest.
I have family members who are ill, and I can't go visit them across the state or up north because it's too expensive right now to drive.
Joel Rutherford is retired and doesn't drive as much, but he's still feeling the impact.
Gas prices don't affect just gas prices. It's also the price of groceries. It's the price of just everything that's in the economy.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
On Wall Street, stocks are soaring yet again today. The Dow is currently up 316 points. The Nasdaq is up 273. The S&P 500 up 58 points. KDK Sports, the Pirates will host the Reds tonight at 6:45. Mitch Keller gets the start for the Bucks. News brought to you by PJ Fitzpatrick. Home improvements with no interest financing if you need it. TrustPJ.com. KDK Radio News Time 10:03. It's 49 degrees in Pittsburgh. AAA traffic and the AccuWeather forecast next.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Are you turning 65 and have questions about Medicare? Aetna has Medicare Advantage plans that include prescription drug coverage in Pennsylvania with a $0 monthly plan premium. Plus, the plans include benefits like dental, vision, and hearing. You may also qualify for a monthly credit toward your Part B premium. Call Aetna today at 1-888-76-AETNA to learn more.
Aetna Medicare is an HMO PPO plan with a Medicare contract. Our D-SNPs also have contracts with state Medicaid programs. Enrollment in our plans depends on contract renewal. Plan features and availability may vary by service area.
Well, the PJ Fitzpatrick traffic center. Traffic powered by Bowser. My friend Alan, what's up? What's up, Marty, is we have some daylight work crews who are tying up traffic just a wee bit if you're coming from the Murraysville area trying to head into Monroeville on Route 22. Some congestion awaits you as you come past 286 because of lane restrictions there. No lane restrictions on the Parkway East. Just some slowdowns for you right around Edgewood-Swissvale as you approach the Squirrel Hill tunnels. And that's the remnant of the rush hour there. Parkway West, it's stubbornly stuck near the top of Green Tree Hill as you try to fit into the Fort Pitt tunnels. An accident in Wilkinsburg on Penn Avenue near West Street is in the final stages of clearing. We still have some crews on scene there. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM at AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Turning cloudy for the rest of today. It'll be quite cool this afternoon with rain at times, even a rumble of thunder, high 52 to 56. A stray evening shower, then partly cloudy and cold later tonight with patchy frost, low 34. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
This report brought to you by NJM Insurance.
If you dread dealing with your insurance more than getting stuck in an elevator with an overshare,
bean burrito for lunch.
you have Insuranoia. You should have NJM. They go to great lengths to do what's best for their policyholders. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
He's live, he's local, he's Marty Griffin. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Jagoffs. These oil companies are making billions off this war in Iran. They are. Check out their stock prices. Texas oil men are drilling their asses off. Anything over like $72 a barrel, they make money, so they drill their asses off. They go to the dry wells, they frack anything they can. So they're over 120. They're drilling their asses off. What irritates me is the gas went up 16 cents per gallon overnight. There is no friggin' way that's cool. Play that piece real quick for me, please, Trevin. Listen to this. Listen to this young lady in the middle.
Protesters in front of a speedway station in Warren, Michigan are holding signs that read, MAGA, Make American Gas Affordable. Jill Murphy organized the protest.
I have family members who are ill, and I can't go visit them across the state or up north because it's too expensive right now to drive.
Joel Rutherford is retired and doesn't drive as much, but he's still feeling the impact.
Gas prices don't affect just gas prices. It's also the price of groceries. It's the price of just everything that's in the economy.
Buddy. Look, the only thing I would say about the young lady in the piece who said she can't afford to visit family members, I empathize with anyone who has loved ones who are sick. It's horrible. However, let's just do the math. Let's say your family up north is, I don't know, 5 hours away. Let's say you use 10 gallons of gas. So you're telling me, let's say it costs $3 more, maybe $5, just to be, not trying to be a jerk. You cannot say, I'm not going to go see my dying aunt because I can't afford $5. I'm not dismissing where gas prices are at. What I'm suggesting is that's a lame excuse. Meantime, Ryan, hold on there, man. I'm going to grab you in a second. I want to get the James gang. Jim Garrity, how are you, sir?
Marty, nice talking to you.
We go way back, folks. I knew him when he was a kid. A kid. Wasn't even shaven yet.
Marty, I'm not even exaggerating. I wouldn't be where I am had you not pushed me along and encouraged me, so thank you.
My man, I had big plans for him, and now he's kicking ass. Hey, James, help me out, brother. There is no way in hell anyone can tell me, my man, that something happened in the Strait of Hormuz last night that allowed them to jack up gas prices by nearly 20 cents a gallon overnight. There's no way, sir, right?
So you got a couple things happening right now. Oil came down, and coming down is kind of like relative because it came down into the $90 range, and it's back up into the $100 range. So you have that, and we'll come back to that in a second. The other thing I want to mention is there are some regional refinery issues in the Midwest that, while they're not happening directly in our area, do put a strain on the local market. So, for example, one of the refineries is in Indiana. One of the refineries, the Wood River refinery. There's a couple that are just close enough that they have to pull gasoline into those areas. And we're talking about, I think about looking at it, it was like 1 million barrels a day worth of gasoline worth of a strain. So between that and the oil prices, that's what we're currently seeing happening at the pump. And the oil is important, Marty, because it's the main ingredient in the gasoline, right? It's 50 to 60% roughly of what you spend. So when it goes up and down by $1 here and $1 there, you see that impact the pump. Before the Iran situation, it was in the $60 and $70 range.
Yes, sir.
And today it's trading above 100. So like when you see it go up and down by $30 and $40, that has a major impact at the pump.
My man, and no one knows this more than the James gang here, is that there is no way the gas in the hole right now that I'm putting in my tank is the gas that went up 17 cents overnight. In other words, the gas that they have right now in the tanks didn't cost them that. And so what people argue is that they're screwing us. And then you see their stock prices and their profit margins, and folks get bitter about this. Do they not, sir?
And look, it's a strain. I mean, I went to fill up, and I thought, wow, I can't believe it. You can actually do the math, Marty. Let's say, so in Pennsylvania today, the average is $4.41.
Oh.
Yesterday, it was $4.33. So statewide, your increase is in the 7 or 8 cent range. If you go back a month ago, it was more like $4.03. So you could say, okay, since the beginning, or since 1 month ago, I'm paying roughly 40 cents more. And let's say your car takes 13 gallons, 14 gallons. You can actually do that math. And if you go back to before the situation began, you're looking at in excess of $1 more. And you could say, well, if I have a car that has a 13-gallon tank and it takes, let's say gas is, just for the sake of the conversation, $1 more expensive, well, then that means I'm going to need $13 more every time I go fill up.
He's right.
And it's important to keep that in mind now and know that, hey, prices, it is all eyes on crude oil. Prices could go up. If crude oil goes down, prices could come down. But we are going into the time of the year when more cars start hitting the road, so demand goes up. It is important to keep it in mind because you want to make sure you work that into your budget and nothing takes you off guard, and you do what you can today to offset some of those increases.
Hey, James Garrity, AAA. I'm reading that it's got more folks kind of looking at electric cars again. Pittsburgh's one of those markets, 3 to 4% electric. Could it sway some folks if this stuff pops over $5 a gallon, brother?
I'll tell you this, Marty. Historically, and when I say historically, I mean just a couple years ago, 2022, we saw an increase of interest, or people at least saying, well, look, maybe I will go over and explore what's going on with electric vehicles.
Yep.
It's and if you're in the market for a car, it's worth looking into. The gasoline prices are one of many, many factors that you want to consider when buying a car. And speaking of 2022, I'll make a note also that that's the last time, or I should say the last thing that we can really compare what's happening now to a situation happening overseas having a major impact on the crude oil market. The last time we saw that was the Russia-Ukraine situation when it emerged. And now we're seeing it with the Iran situation. So looking back then, I'll say, Marty, that's when we had record high prices. It was $5.07 in June of 2022. Today, Pennsylvania, and that's the average, which means there were higher prices, obviously. But in Pennsylvania today, we're at $4.41. And a week ago, we were at $4.13. So, obviously moving closer than farther away to that average. But for context, that's the last time we saw prices kind of escalating as rapidly as we've been seeing.
Jim Garrity, AAA, before I let you go, brother, it's kind of troublesome to folks that these prices go up a lot faster than they come down. In other words, if this war ends today and crude drops down to 80, gas is not dropping to $1.20, sir. It isn't, right?
You know what, Marty, when it comes to the impact, because let's say, crude is trading, I think the last I looked, it was about $103 today. But that's what it's trading at today. Then it has to make its way down the distribution chain. Then it has to go to the refineries. And then it has to actually be transported on the highways and the pipelines until it actually gets to the mom and pop shop. So I'll say this. What we typically see happen is when oil goes up and down, that impact hits the pump typically in the days and weeks following because of all of the journey that it has to take, so to speak. But when you do see oil go up and down, again, it's 50 to 60% of what you're spending. So there typically is a pretty direct impact at the pump.
James Garrity, my man. Appreciate it, brother. AAA.
Anytime, Marty.
Love them. Hold on there, folks. Got great calls. Hold on there. Need your calls. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic powered by Bowser. My friend Ellen, what's up?
All right, Marty, what's up is we have some marathon closures starting today at noon. Just wanted to let you know they're going to start closures where the marathon will end. So the Boulevard of the Allies gets their attention today, and a closure from Stanwix to Wood Streets. And then you'll see the closures continuing to layer in around the city over the next couple of days in preparation for the big race day on Sunday. So just be prepared for that. Of course, the closures will impact Port Authority riders, bus riders, so you want to check in on how your route will be impacted at rideprt.org, and they can help you out with schedule changes or any adjustments to stops there. Parkway West inbound backs at the top of the hill. Parkway East right now still slow go for you at Edgewood Swissvale. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Pittsburgh Regional Transit is now hiring full-time bus drivers. It's a great place to accelerate your career. We offer great pay and terrific benefits like health care, paid vacation time, dental, vision, and more. We're even offering a starting bonus for those who qualify. Call 412-566-5162 to pre-register for our upcoming hiring event on May 15th, 2026. Candidates may receive an offer that same day. Go to rideprt.org/careers to learn more. PRT is an equal opportunity employer.
When it comes to building Pennsylvania's future, the laborers are on the job. From highways and bridges to schools, hospitals, energy projects, the men and women of the Pennsylvania Laborers District Council deliver the skilled work that keeps our communities moving forward. Joe LaQuatra is leading the charge to train the next generation, protect worker safety, and stand up for fair wages and benefits. When laborers build, Pennsylvania grows stronger. The Pennsylvania Laborers District Council, working hard every day. My people. Man, so you want a cake, and not just any cake, a special cake. Bespoke cake. Oakmont Bakery, brothers and sisters, on their site, 2,000 to 3,000 variations, size, flavoring, icings, graphics, art, you name it, they'll do it. And it's with that personal family touch. It's Oakmont Bakery, folks, where everything is delicious.
Amazon Business. Discover smart business buying where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Allegheny County is looking for poll workers to work the election on May 19th. Poll workers earn $150 to $175 for the day plus paid training. For more info and to apply, visit AlleghenyVotes.com. That's AlleghenyVotes.com.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I love James Garrity. He's pragmatic, but I'm more emotional about this bull crap that gas went up 17 cents overnight. They're ripping us off. That just nothing happened in the Straits of Hormuz overnight. My boy Ryan, right, Ryan? They're ripping us off.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Absolutely. The question I have, I drive all day. So I fill up probably twice a week, and the gas that I purchased 2 days ago is now significantly more expensive at the pump right now, today. But what I don't understand is if they bought the gas at a certain price, how are they still charging more if it's that same gas? How are they allowed to charge more and it reflects that much faster?
Well,
but
hold on.
when it drops, it doesn't.
This is the big lie. So they bought that friggin' gas that you just filled up. They bought that on Monday. It's now Friday. They still have it in the tanks. So what gives them the damn right to raise it 30 cents when they're not paying 30 cents more? They're screwing you.
Yeah, that's what I can't figure out, because it doesn't work the reverse way.
No.
When the prices drop, you're still paying, they're not going to take a loss on that. You're still paying what they bought it for, at least,
The scam.
It is.
Man, it's a ripoff.
It is.
It's a ripoff.
It is, but, unfortunately, they play the tune. We have to dance to it.
Hey, before you go,
yeah.
I want him to mention this. We're about to go through this journey again, helping a man who is starting to panic because he has a kidney failure. And I just want you to tell folks that it is a journey, but together we made it successful, and we found you a kidney. It saved your life, didn't it, sir?
Yes, I could have. It would have never happened. I had a very limited time. It was a very dire situation, and I needed a megaphone to get it out there because the waiting list, the time to get a kidney, it just takes so long. So you really need a live donor. And it would have never gotten done without you guys and my daughter and the community. There's no way. I mean, there's absolutely no way. And who knows, I only had a couple years left on dialysis because the situation was so bad, and you guys jumped in, and, it was done quickly.
But for the guy we're trying to help, what happens is you start to panic. And why wouldn't you, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. You're faced with that situation. It's do or die. It really is. But, you have to stay positive, and you have to fight.
My brother, thanks.
Got it, brother. Bye-bye.
Love the man. Love the man. What'd you say, pal? Got to grab Dave Ross, one of my boys, probably the smartest car guy I know, and we talk to him all the time. He's at Bowser. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
All right, so I had to get the skinny from you because you'll tell me the truth. By the way, you look fantastic, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. Lost a little weight.
God bless you.
Thank you.
And for health reasons, right? Right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm glad it could happen.
Well, thank you.
The Wall Street Journal says, and then I was talking to Patrick about this, but I know you would know, there's a buzz again with electric cars. And if this gas pops up over $5 a gallon, they're suggesting there will be a frenzy for electrics. Are you seeing any of that with all the different brands you sell?
Not for us here in Pittsburgh locally. Well, at least for our dealership, for that matter. But I really don't hear any buzz saying, hey, race to get these things. Matter of fact, even most of our manufacturers that we're dealing with has scaled back tremendously on producing these things.
And some of them have bagged their line, bagged their brand.
Yeah. GM has pretty much done that for the majority of their vehicles that were EV. We're seeing a big, huge switch to hybrid.
Oh.
That's kind of what's sparked a little bit right now with the prices.
So, Dave, if I buy a hybrid, does it save me on gas?
Oh, absolutely.
How?
Yeah.
How's it work? I don't know.
It works in combination with your gas engine, but when you're at low speeds, like under 30 miles an hour, it does go just EV. So you're using the battery part of the car. But when you're driving highway speeds and all, it doesn't combine between your battery and your gas engine.
Are they reasonably priced?
We have them probably starting somewhere in the upper 20s to you can get into the 50, 60 range.
What's a car? I hate to shop online here like this, but what's a car in the 20s that's a hybrid that you sell?
We're probably more like our entry-level Hyundai Elantra.
Okay.
You can probably get them in the upper 20s.
Wow. That's really a good price.
Mm-hmm.
And so
they're becoming more popular.
They are. But how many, I always find this fascinating, Dave Ross from Bowser, how many electric cars, all electric, do you have on your lots right now, new? 2?
Combined?
Yeah.
With all our brands, maybe 4, 5.
4? Wow. But so folks know this, we're kind of old school in the Berg. We're only like 3% electric, whereas you go to L.A. and it's like 60%. Right?
Electric, even during the high point, never really seemed like it caught on.
My man Dave, but hybrid's the way to go, my man. Sounds like it, right? Appreciate it. It's great info. And I did not know that you could get cars in the 20s. Max recommends gas, buddy. Yeah, that's cool. But gas is kind of high everywhere, brother. Sounds like it's going to get cheap somewhere. Tony, my brother, what's up?
Hello, Marty. How are you?
Good.
Hey, it doesn't end at the pump there, and it doesn't end putting it in your car. I'm doing a little construction project that the price was probably going to be around $50,000. And as I move forward here, things are going up exponentially. Things that are produced using oil, things like roofing products and insulation. It's probably going to add 20% to the bottom line of this. So you're talking another 10 grand. You know what I mean? So everything that's getting built, they just broke ground at the History Center. Do you think that's going to maintain?
No.
You know what I mean, with this kind of nonsense? Wow. And, so people don't think past the gas tank.
No, you're right. You're right.
It's way past that. And, grocery prices, everything is just way more expensive. And it's happening quickly.
It is.
I bought some foam product last week for $32. I just looked this morning. It was $41.
Oh, come on. Wow.
Yeah. One sheet of product. So at the end of the day, this stuff is growing exponentially. And here's what I'd really like to research. I wish I was smart enough or had the opportunity. But I would like to see what businesses all of our leaders are invested in through whatever they're invested in. And I would like to see how much this is increasing their bottom line across the board. Not just oil.
It's true.
I'm talking everything else, man.
It's getting old, brother. It's aggravating the hell out of people.
It's aggravating the heck out of me, and I just can't believe people are being so complacent about it, to be honest with you.
I agree again.
If this was the previous administration, the world would be turning upside down.
I agree again. But my man, if this pops over $5 and it's supposed to in the next 2 weeks, it's going to hit the fan. Thanks for the insight, my man. It's actually great insight. Mad Max, go.
Hey, Marty, real quick for your listeners, there's an app out there called Gas Buddy.
Yeah.
You can get it on the Apple Store or Google Play, and what it does is it tells you based on your location where the cheapest gas is.
I'm not driving very far to save a couple cents, though, Max. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, not miles, but I mean, if you save 5-10 cents between one gas station that's 2 miles away from the other one, I mean.
Hell yeah. Gas Buddy, right?
Yep.
Mad Max, my brother, thanks. He's right. You got to hear this next guest. You've got to hear this next guest after the break. Do not miss it.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
When he's good, he's thorough good. When he's bad, he's the baddest. George Thorogood and the Destroyers, the baddest show on earth. August 30th, the Palace Theater. Reserve seats on sale now at thepalacetheater.org. George Thorogood and the Destroyers, produced by Trusky Entertainment.
From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 52 degrees at 10:30. I'm David Valorado. Jeffrey Epstein's death in a New York City jail cell in 2019 has been ruled a suicide by authorities, but now a note has emerged that may be a suicide note. More now from CBS's Anna Schechter.
The cellmate gave it to his lawyers, who thought maybe it could protect him against any accusation that he had tried to harm Epstein, because 3 weeks prior to Epstein's death, there had been another incident where he was found with cloth around his neck. So his lawyers entered it into the case where this cellmate is trying to appeal his own murder conviction. A federal judge ordered it locked and sealed away.
The New York Times is also reporting that Epstein's cellmate discovered the note after Epstein was first reported to have attempted suicide the month before and made the note known to his lawyers, who made it part of the cellmate's appeal of his conviction in that murder case. A Pittsburgh tradition is returning this weekend. News Radio KDKA's Pat Septak has details.
Sunday's Pittsburgh Marathon this year is a sold-out affair with tens of thousands of participants running through 14 city neighborhoods on the 26.2-mile journey. But don't forget about the Saturday events. They begin at 7:30 with the Pittsburgh 5K, the Pittsburgh Champions Mile at 8:30, and the Kids Marathon at 9:30, all in the North Shore near Mazeroski Way. The Pittsburgh Toddler Trot is at 8:30 Saturday morning, and the Pittsburgh Pet Walk is at noon. Those two events are at Point State Park. Pat Septak, News Radio KDKA.
It may soon be easier to bring guns onto passenger trains in the United States. CBS News correspondent Jim Krasula has more.
Amtrak is considering allowing people to store guns in lockboxes on most of its trains, which critics say would weaken security measures that instead should be strengthened in light of the shooting at last weekend's White House Correspondents Association dinner. Investigators say the man arrested in connection with the incident traveled by Amtrak from California to Washington, D.C. with his firearms.
The Trump administration has been pushing Amtrak to ease its gun policies for months. On Wall Street, stocks continue to soar at this hour. The Dow is up 252 points. The Nasdaq is also up about 250. That's 1%. And the S&P 500 is higher by 53 points. KDKA Radio News Time, 10:32. Our next update at 11. On the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio KDKA.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by University of Maryland Global Campus.
If you're out on a date with someone who's talking a big financial game, they could be making it up.
I'm about to close a huge deal, or I've got this amazing house I'm looking to buy.
Respondents to a recent survey from a dating app say they want to see tools that screen out so-called financial fakers. Financial planner Chris Everett says some people even believe their own tall tales.
It's not necessarily deception either.
I'm Rob Hart.
You know the rush when you reach that goal, when something you've worked for pays off. That's success. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move your career forward. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science. Build your leadership and critical thinking skills. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 13th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shell.
Hey, it's Pony for my friends at Comer and Cross. Does your garage floor have cracked and stained concrete? Mine did. Maybe your garage floor had a bad epoxy or paint job. A new Comer and Cross garage floor is going to transform your whole garage, and all it's going to take is one day. I love mine, and you'll love yours. If you call them right now, and you should do it, don't waste another second. They'll take 50% off your installation. So here's that number, 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. A Comer and Cross garage floor is the gold standard. It is guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. And just like they did for me, they will make it so easy for you. Stuff in your garage, they'll take it out. Cracks and pits, they'll fix them perfectly. Look just like new. And they're going to put their proprietary Comer and Cross finish on it. So I want you to call them now and get that 50% off installation. The number is 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. 800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com. It's Comer and Cross Premium Concrete Coatings.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Metro Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. My friend Ellen, what's up?
Well, what's up, Marty, is we have slow-go traffic on the Parkway West right around the top of Green Tree Hill. Parkway East is a little bit better. It's only sluggish inbound right around Edgewood, Swissvale, but you want to plan ahead for slowdowns on the Parkway East this weekend. Shoulder restriction, and this is in Edgewood, Swissvale, and Churchill boroughs. Over the weekend, it starts tonight, Friday night, and it's continuously through 5 on Sunday morning. A lane restriction down to a single lane in both directions with a possible shoulder restriction between the Greensburg Pike, exit 79A, and Wilkinsburg 78B interchange, as crews will be doing some concrete pavement patching work. This is weather permitting, and certainly if they finish things up early, they'll lift those restrictions early. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Campbell on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
The rest of today will be mostly cloudy and quite cool. We'll have rain at times this afternoon, perhaps a rumble of thunder, high 52 to 56. A stray evening shower, then some clearing later tonight and cold with frost in places, the low 34. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Penalties and interest are piling up every single day. Wage garnishments and bank levies could hit any moment. If you've been avoiding it out of fear, you're not alone. But waiting only shrinks your options and ramps up the stress. The truth is, the IRS settles with taxpayers every day through legitimate programs, and many qualify to reduce what they owe, in some cases by up to 99%. That's why thousands turn to helpwithirsdebt.com. They've guided over 120,000 Americans, resolved more than $2.3 billion in tax debt, and back every case with their ironclad resolution guarantee. If there's no real path forward, you get a full refund, no fine print. They even randomly select one qualifying client each year and pay off their entire IRS balance. Terms apply. Don't let another day pass. Go to helpwithirsdebt.com right now. It's fast, easy, and confidential. Find out what's possible today. Helpwithirsdebt.com. Once again, that's helpwithirsdebt.com.
Hey, it's Marty. Are you tired of pain or fear of falling that's holding you back, struggling with balance, neuropathy, or joint pain? At Monroeville Physical, spelled F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L, physical therapy is done differently because you are different. Folks, this place is amazing. I've seen it firsthand. Shoulder pain, knee pain, balance issues. They attack it and work it, and it works. Call today. Monroeville Physical, F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L, 412-457-8200.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
All right, here we go. We have made it to the end of the week. What a week it was. Going to be a better week next week, too. It's Friday. Colin Dunlap, 2 to 6. KDK.
Our business is on life support. I know a lot of folks internally don't like to admit that. I think they always want to say it's a sunny day even though the sun's going down. I kind of like to just lay the facts out there and let you decide. Television news is in a landslide, ratings cratering, revenue cratering. A newspaper business, they've closed about 5,000 of them in the last 10 years. Media in general is screwed. Magazines, forget about it. When's the last time you picked up a magazine? It's bad. So when they decided that the Post-Gazette was going to go under, I freaked out because my favorite reporters are there. It's my favorite paper. I use it every single day. In arrogant, pompous TV, people act like the paper doesn't matter when it's in the reverse. Arrogant, pompous TV people don't matter. Newspaper people do matter. They provide context and content and facts, quite frankly. And the best reporters in print in this town in my world, with all due respect to the Trib, once their benefactor, their billionaire died, that game changed fast. Mr. Scaife would write them a check every month to keep them alive, and that's the truth. I'm not disrespecting the Trib. Don't send me nasty letters from their lawyers. But I am suggesting that the Post-Gazette was the paper of record. So, we're all jubilant that it's being saved. This company coming in is a nonprofit. They've won big awards. They believe in journalism. However, they sent notices out last night to folks they were going to get rid of and folks they were going to keep. And they're getting rid of the best music critic I've ever known in my life. Ever. ever, always available, always objective, always honest, always there, worked his ass off. Scott Mervis, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Marty. Good to talk to you.
Needless to say, you're disappointed.
I'm disappointed. But first off, I want to just say how much I'm thinking about my colleagues at the paper. You know, I've had a long career. This is my last day after 41 years. Wow. Some of the younger ones, though, they're just starting out, and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do next. So, you know, I just want to send my best wishes to all of them.
You make a point, by the way, my man, that's actually so damn valid. I have actually, and we've known each other for years, I've actually told kids at Syracuse University to pay $100,000 a year to learn an education where they're not going to get a job that pays them $50,000. Are you sure you want to do this? It's kind of at that point, is it not, for newspaper and journalism and media in general, isn't it, Scott?
Yeah, Marty, I'm afraid to say that I've actually told interns that at various times. Like, this is really tough. And, you know, you're going to get into, like, your late middle age, and you're gonna want money. And I'm not sure if this is the way to do it. But, you know,
you're right on,
here's
brother.
the thing.
Go ahead, man. Scott, go ahead.
I'm going to say something that might be very unpopular, but I have a lot of appreciation for the blocks.
Yeah.
They could have gutted this thing. True. Like you said, all those newspapers closed. They could have gutted this newsroom years ago. They didn't lay off people.
True.
They didn't furlough during the pandemic. They didn't walk away during the strike. And when they simply could have shut this down, they went and found a buyer. And I think, and I'm really appreciative of them for that.
Are you angry or frustrated with the new owners, how they cut you, sir?
I guess those adjectives would work. You know, I looked at the Baltimore Banner, which they also run, yes, the other paper that they run, when I found out about the purchase, and I noticed that there wasn't really a lot of arts coverage and very, very little music coverage. They weren't reviewing concerts at all. And I sort of mentioned that to, you know, one of my coworkers. I think it was an editor. And what I heard was like, you know, they're going to keep the essence of Pittsburgh. You know, they're going to keep the essence of the Post-Gazette. Like, what works for the Post-Gazette is what they're going to do. So I became hopeful that you know, that would be the case here. I have a picture, Marty, of, it goes back to 1985, and it is the Arts and Entertainment staff under, do you remember George Anderson?
Of course.
The editor, yeah. And there's about 20 of us in this photograph. It's a black and white photograph. There's 3 movie critics, dedicated critics for theater, books, visual arts, rock music. Sure. There's about 20 of us in the picture. I was the last one in the picture. I was the last arts writer at the Post-Gazette, period. Mm. Now there are 0. So it is real disappointing to me because I feel like I was a link to the old Post-Gazette, to the old days, and yet I think I have a lot of life left in me.
And to the arts, brother. So this is where I get annoyed, and I'm defensive about this because my wife has been in ballet her whole life. Well, we don't like the ballet, screw the symphony. No, screw you. This is vital. This is part of the fabric that we can say, you know, Pittsburgh's cool because we have this. Pittsburgh's cool because we have Scott Mervis. So what they're saying to you is you don't matter and that people don't give a damn about music is a bald-faced lie. Is it not, sir?
I think that's true. I think that, you know, I have covered local music, I think, more than most critics at other newspapers around the country. Oh, yeah. I've really put an emphasis on Pittsburgh music because people love Pittsburgh music. And we've got legends here from Joe Grishecki to Billy Price, Wiz Khalifa, Mac Miller, rest in peace, all the way back to groups like the Jaggers that people go see. There's such a rich tradition here. I just did a whole story about all the Spotify clicks that people like Art Blakey get, George Benson. It's just a rich tradition, and you know, I did a byline search this morning, and in the last 3 months, I've had 98 bylines.
Whoa.
And
whoa.
I've just been really dedicated because I'm, you know, every day I want to give something to the readers I want to do something for the musicians in this town. And so.
My man, I'm sitting there looking at a picture of you with your arms around Taylor Swift. I mean, you've been in the room with these massive stars. And can you help me with something, Scott, without being a jag-off to the new owners, because I'm glad they're here, and I'm glad the Post-Gazette's still here. Did they offer an explanation as to why you don't matter in their eyes?
No, I got a form email. I got a form email, and it came. So what happened was I was watching the Penguins Game 6 the other night, and in the Slack, I'm starting to see people say, hey, I just got a job offer.
Oh.
I did too. And so over the next 4 hours, I was sitting there looking at my phone, looking at my email, nothing coming in. So it was notification by omission. We weren't.
Nice.
If you didn't get an email, you weren't hired. So I woke up the next morning. I thought, well, maybe I'll get an email this morning. Went the whole day. Finally, at the end of the day, got a form note saying thanks, but no thanks. I didn't even read it.
Hey, Scott, what are your emotions?
Well, I'm determined, Marty, because I want to keep doing this. I don't know how to do it. I'm looking into maybe a Substack, but I'm not sure how viable that is. I'm, open to any offers from competing media.
Yeah.
But there's just no way I'm going to stop doing it because it's what I do.
You're damn good,
and,
Best ever. It
Thank
breaks
you,
all,
Marty.
all of it breaks my heart, quite frankly. What's happened to our business, and you know what? I have 3 kids, and I look my son in the eye and say, my man, you ain't going to journalism school. It's not happening. And that's sad to say.
My son's graduating from engineering school at Pitt tomorrow.
Whoa.
And,
all right, he'll be all right.
And, he'll be all right. But with the state of the industry, I've been doing DoorDash to help put him through college, pay his rent, all that stuff. I've been working 70, 80 hours a week in addition to the PG. Because, we weren't, one thing about the blocks is we were not getting raises. We were getting cuts because of all the health insurance. So it hasn't been a profitable occupation.
No, my brother. My man, I have a bunch of ideas.
I loved every minute of it, Marty. I've loved it the whole way.
Oh, you're amazing. I have some ideas, and I'll be texting you later, and we're going to get together, and we're going to make a difference. All right, my man?
Open to all your wisdom, Marty. I appreciate you having me on this morning.
He's a badass.
And thank you to all the readers.
He's a badass, and I hate to see this happen to a badass. Plus, he's a hell of a nice guy. But this is the flushing sound you hear in our business. It's legit, man. He's a wonderful guy, and he's a big talent. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
What's up, Marty? We have an accident on the south side, East Carson at South 28th Street. Crews are just rolling up on the scene as you travel there. Coming inbound toward town on the Parkway East, you have sluggish traffic beginning between Wilkinsburg and Edgewood Swissvale as you make your way to the Squirrel Hill tunnels. 28 looks great. Parkway North is moving along just fine, but the Parkway West inbound continues to be stop and go most of the way down the front side of Green Tree Hill headed for the Fort Pitt tunnels. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to the Marty Griffin Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Attention Pittsburgh area residents. If you have Medicaid and need help with activities of basic living, Freedom Care can make it easy. With Freedom Care, the person who cares for you can be someone you love, your family, your friend, or a trusted neighbor. They can assist you with meals, bathing, eating, mobility, and more, and Medicaid pays them for your care. You stay in the home you love, surrounded by the people you choose, and it's 100% free to you. Don't wait. Call Freedom Care now. Call 412-981-1620. With Freedom Care, you get the care you need, and your loved one gets paid instantly after every shift. Feel better, heal better, and live better at home with Freedom Care. Call 412-981-1620 or visit freedomcare.com today. That's 412-981-1620. Again, 412-981-1620. 412-981-1620.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding. Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company.
When you call yourself the voice of Pittsburgh, you have to know when to not talk. Sometimes you just need to be the ears of Pittsburgh. Just listen. Listen to what you have to say. These are complicated and uncertain times. But when you need us, we are here for you. And we're listening. A trusted source that you can count on to be here. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-284-1238. 800-284-1238. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-284-1238.
Here's your Jill on Money question of the day.
Irene from Boston asks, I'm a 72-year-old widow, and I've always handled the finances and investments, but now I feel I need some tax strategy advice. An advisor tried to have me turn over the management of my investments to his company. I want to continue handling my own money. Irene, it sounds like what you're looking for is a fee-only planner, someone who will map out a plan for you, a plan that you'll be able to take with you and execute on your own. The best way to find one is by going to napfa.org. That's NAPFA.org. Good luck.
Have a question? Go to JillOnMoney.com.
One thing is very clear.
CBS Mornings is clearly fun.
Watching Rocky with Rocky.
Good morning, good vibes.
Gail came in singing for me today. CBS Mornings.
Weekdays at 7.
It's Marty Griffin on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Oh, man. Let me tell you a couple stories to kind of underline what Scott just said. But by the way, he's a big talent. He's a wonderful guy, and he's a genius. He works his ass off, and he knows every musician in the world. Covers it better than anyone I've ever known. I've lived in Dallas and L.A., so you know. Two examples. Reporter came in here, a freelance reporter, which already tells you where we're at, for the Pittsburgh Magazine, which, try to find it somewhere. Not disparaging Pittsburgh Magazine. They do a hell of a job. But she was freelance, which means they're not paying her full time. Not disparaging, just saying this is where the business is at. Then probably the best still photographer in the market came in to take pictures of me. Brilliant photographer. And she said they rarely use her anymore because they don't have the money and they don't do those kind of print pictures anymore. That's one example. And again, not disparaging the magazine, but that's where they're at. My friend owns Whirl and struggles to keep it printed ever. Love her. Christine Thompson, love her. One more story. The PG sent a reporter to interview me and my wife when I was sick. This is the truth. And they did a magnificent job. They're wonderful people, the reporters. And she told us, when she started there were 350 reporters. When she did the story on us, there were less than 50, and now there are less than 30. It's just two more stories, then I've kind of made my point. KDKA TV, when I started there with my wife, and this is 20-plus years ago, and Patrick knows it too, because we had reporters for everything. City Hall, health, dollar bill, money, you name it, we had it. Not no more. We just didn't. We had 3 investigative reporters, Sheehan, myself, and Martino. Seriously, full-time staff, full-time editors, full-time producers. Seriously, Patrick, you've lived all this.
Yeah, we had 2 doctors on staff.
Right, excellent point. When I was in Dallas, I had a whole friggin' team, man. We flew everywhere. We spent 6 months on a story. All of that is gone. All of it. Evaporated. I am not disparaging KDKA TV. I love them. They're wonderful people. I'm not disparaging Pittsburgh Magazine. I'm not. Or Worrell. I'm just telling you where we're at here, man. It's scary. When you see it happening, you can't believe it's happening, but it's happening. And as far as the consumer is concerned, you end up with less information. And when you lose the great ones like Scott, you end up with no one. And that's not good, man. It's this notion that we don't need the arts. Screw you. We do absolutely need the arts. I don't care if you don't like ballet. I don't like the symphony. It doesn't mean it doesn't matter. And the point is that all of this matters, and you chip away at this. And the strength of our democracy is access to power, and information is power. And when you cut away reporters, journalists, videographers, all the reporters pretty much at KDKA TV now shoot their own stories with a cell phone. You got rid of all these videographers. They are badass journalists. My point is not to pick on the PG or the Trib or KDKA TV or anyone else for that matter. My point is to suggest to you that the business is spiraling because it's so damn fragmented. So you end up getting your information from idiots and amateurs wandering around aimlessly, making stuff up to get attention. It's the truth. And so you end up perpetuating lies and misinformation and disinformation. And when you want to see a great concert review now, where do you go? Nowhere, because no one's left. And that is tragic. And that's where we're at. Again, I'm so grateful this company came in and saved the Post-Gazette. So damn grateful. But like every single media outlet in America, it's not the same, and it will never be the same again. Ever. CBS used to have 100-plus foreign correspondents. Now they have fewer than 10. I'm just keeping it real. And when you don't get the information, you get it from somewhere else. And most of the time, it's BS, and it's dangerous.
When you need to know, depend on the news leader. At home, in your car, or at work. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM, AM 1020, and KDKARadio.com.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Sat there with my wife and said, we have to have an estate plan. I mean this because I'm getting older. I had cancer. Who the hell knows? We sat down with Julie and Gray at Gray Elder Law, and they put together an estate plan that protects us, protects our kids, and makes us feel good about the future. GrayElderLaw.com, 412-458-6000, 412-458-6000. Folks, the best in this state at estate planning, GrayElderLaw.com.
Progressive knows you think the grass is always greener, like maybe you ride a motorcycle. But today, it's raining. So you wish you had an RV, but if you did, you'd have to listen to some guy parked next to it at a campsite plays acoustic guitar. Now, before you start wishing you had a boat, remember, your brother-in-law would invite himself every weekend.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
The one thing that is greener is the money you could save when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
You know the rush when you reach that goal, when something you've worked for pays off. That's success. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move your career forward. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science. Build your leadership and critical thinking skills. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 13th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by SHAV.
14 years in prison for killing a young woman. A 15-year sentence for a crash that caused 3 deaths. 12 and a half years for killing a child and critically injuring her mother. All true stories, all caused by marijuana-impaired drivers. No matter what you tell yourself, if you feel different, you drive different. So, if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hockey is a passion for fans of the sport, but also for the youth who fall in love with the game. With the ever-increasing cost of participating in hockey, many families face financial challenges. The Assisted Goals Foundation was founded to remove financial barriers and to create lasting growth in the sport for current and future players of all backgrounds and communities. Help the Assisted Goals Foundation make the game of hockey available and accessible to anyone, anywhere, at any time. You too can provide an assist. Donate today at assistedgoals.org.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 54 degrees at 11 o'clock. I'm David Ballarado. The news is brought to you by PJ Fitzpatrick for all your home's windows, siding, doors, and bath. TrustPJ.com. Republican lawmakers say they will continue to defer to President Trump for now during the fragile ceasefire with Iran. Under the War Powers Act of 1973, Congress must declare war or authorize the use of force within 60 days of its start or within 90 days if the president requests an extension. Many Republicans who have been uneasy with the president's war have for weeks pointed to the May 1st deadline for Congress to intervene, but the date is now set to pass with no action from GOP lawmakers. The city has announced that another organization is making a big financial commitment to the city. News Radio KDKA's Rob Taylor tells us more.
The Richard King Mellon Foundation is contributing $1.9 million to the city of Pittsburgh. $1 million of it will go towards the city's Learn and Earn program. That gives young people ages 14 to 23 a chance to have a summer job. But the R.K. Mellon Foundation's contribution will now allow the program to be year-round for the youth.
That's huge. That's life-changing for some of our kids in the city of Pittsburgh. So very excited. I think that's a huge win for everyone.
Mayor Corey O'Connor also says funds will be used to redesign Mellon Square storefronts downtown into a new restaurant. Rob Taylor, News Radio KDKA.
Would you rather drink water from your tap or use bottled water? Pittsburgh Water today has launched a public education campaign called Pittsburgh Drinks Tap that aims to build confidence in the quality and safety of Pittsburgh's drinking water. This in the wake of a $470 million system upgrade. At a news conference this morning, Millvale's Compass Point Coffee said it had switched from bottled water to Pittsburgh tap water, not just because it's less expensive, but also based on its quality. A major grocery chain has stepped closer to opening its first store in the Pittsburgh area. News Radio KDK's Tamira Rush has details.
Wegmans Food Markets has officially purchased land in Cranberry Township, locking in plans for its first local store. The Pittsburgh Business Times reports the company paid just over $14 million for a 13-acre site at Cranberry Springs, where a 115,000 square foot store is planned. Officials say site work is already underway, with construction expected later this year. The store is still projected to open in 2027 and could bring between 400 and 500 jobs to the region. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street at this hour, stocks remain higher, backed off a little bit from their earlier highs, but currently the Dow is up 108 points. The Nasdaq is also higher by 208 points, and the S&P 500 is currently higher, just about 36.5 points. KDK Sports, the Pirates will host the Reds tonight at 6:45 p.m. Mitch Keller gets the start for the Bucks. KDK Radio News Time, 11:03. Right now, it is 54 degrees and cloudy in Pittsburgh. AAA traffic and the AccuWeather forecast are coming up next.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell. Licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Hall and Museum recognizes Pennsylvania's combat veterans who have received medals for gallantry. With this Hall of Valor moment, here's the curator of Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Hall and Museum, Michael Krause.
Sergeant Frank Mino of Allegheny County was awarded the Silver Star during World War II in the Pacific Theater from April 9, 1942 to September 1945. While participating in 3 combat missions while stationed on the Bataan Peninsula, Mino helped sink the first Japanese battleship of the war. After the Japanese captured Bataan, some 70,000 American and Filipino soldiers, including Mino, were forced to march about 60 miles to a prison. Between 7,000 and 10,000 died along the way, and the rest were held in prison camps, where their daily meals consisted of a little rice and water. Sergeant Mino contracted malaria and severe intestinal problems because of the torture inflicted on him. Liberated in September 1945, he finally retired home.
To nominate a qualifying hero for the Hall of Valor, visit online at soldiersandsailorshall.org.
From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA traffic powered by Bowser. My friend Ellen, what's up?
Well, Marty, we still have crews working with an accident on the south side, East Carson Street at South 28th Street, so you could find slowdowns there. A reminder for you that we're about an hour away from the first closures related to the marathon this weekend. At noon, the Boulevard of the Allies from Stanwix to Wood Streets will close, and more closures will layer in around the route for the marathon as we get ready for Sunday morning's beginning of the race. A reminder, of course, bus riders will be impacted because of detours and stops not being serviced during the race. You want to check out rideprt.org for information about that. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
The rest of today will be quite cool with plenty of clouds, some rain, and even a rumble of thunder, high 52 to 56. A stray evening shower, then partly cloudy and cold later tonight. Watch out for some frost, low 34. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
The following is an editorial by KDKA Radio Regional Vice President Michael Spacciapoli.
After breaking the NFL draft attendance record with over 805,000 fans witnessing the league's annual restocking of talent, Pittsburgh must capitalize on the momentum this created. ESPN and social media were unbelievably complimentary of our city. We received thousands of rave reviews from first-time visitors. The key is to ensure this success is sustained. All of this required a collaborative effort from so many people and organizations. Let's make sure these same people work just as hard attracting other big events and conventions. Continue to keep our city clean. Look for more areas to improve. The momentum is there. Let's make sure we don't simply celebrate the success, but rather we start stacking wins. There is no time like the present.
This has been an editorial by KDKA Radio Regional Vice President Michael Spacciapoli. To view a transcript, go to kdkaradio.com.
Have an issue in your community? Talk about it now with Marty Griffin. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Right on, Spac. A few years ago, I did a television piece. We followed people who were on methadone for 17 years, which is laughable for so many reasons. There's no way anyone should be on methadone for 17 years. And they play the system. They got paid for mileage, so they would get drivers and drive them to friggin' clinics 60 miles away, and then they would get expenses. And it turned into this multi-million-dollar joke, costing the state $50 to $100 million a year to keep these guys on methadone for 15 to 20 years. I'm not suggesting methadone isn't effective. I'm not suggesting it's not a treatment option, but people are always playing the system. The best reporter I know, Andy Sheehan, did a piece last night that kind of set me back in my chair. I have him live on hold, but I want you to hear this dynamic piece yet. It's kind of shocking. Listen.
How long have you been using heroin?
Long time.
They've been driven to crime to feed their addiction and have landed behind bars, strung out and going through withdrawal. In Pennsylvania, most inmates with a substance abuse history are now being put on a drug called Suboxone. Like methadone in the past, it's meant to ease them off opioids like heroin and fentanyl. Inmates seen here in the Philadelphia prison system say it allows them to function.
It keeps me focused now. I have no withdrawal, whatever. I don't even have the urge to want to get high.
In Pennsylvania and across the nation, Suboxone is being heralded as the answer to addiction, especially in our prisons and jails. Once on it, proponents say those with substance use disorder run little chance of overdose and are more likely to seek recovery when they leave prison, making them less likely to return.
we have no stronger evidence in addiction treatment, less risk of overdose, more likely to go to treatment, less likely to go to a hospital.
But critics say Suboxone is no miracle cure, and that inmates and others are merely trading one addiction for another at the public's expense.
They've created a world full of dependent people on another substance. So what have you really done? You haven't accomplished anything.
Like other prison systems across the nation, the Pennsylvania Department of Corrections is all in on Suboxone. In the past 2 years, the number of inmates on the drugs has spiked from 1,800 to more than 5,000, an increase of 184%. All inmates in the system can now apply to be put on Suboxone, and there are 4,000 more on a waiting list to be screened, raising concerns at a recent hearing that corrections officials are pushing the drug.
They're getting put on Suboxone. They're being basically encouraged to get on Suboxone. Is that part of what's driving this? That's a significant number of people.
I just talked about 57% of our population has a substance use history, and that's a significant number of individuals in our system. Our addictionologists meet with individuals. They talk to them, of course, especially for folks going back out into the community.
But the costs are staggering. An injection of buprenorphine lasts a month but costs $1,630. Oral medication is $55 a month. With their expanded use, the cost of the program has ballooned to $36.7 million a year. Those costs are only going up and don't include money spent at the county jails, including the Allegheny County Jail. Still, County Health and Human Services addiction specialist James Loveland says it's worth the money.
So it sounds expensive until you realize the alternative is even more expensive.
Prisons across the country believe more inmates will seek recovery programs after their release, and there will be far less recidivism or returning to the cycle of crime and jail. But Suboxone is still an opioid and addictive by itself. Those who have used it tell me it does get you high, and it's difficult to quit. Some in the recovery community say being on it is not the same as being clean and sober.
Just doesn't work. It doesn't work.
12 years ago, Jim Antel opened this recovery house primarily for ex-inmates here on the north side. But after a host of problems, he no longer takes in those who want to use Suboxone, only inmates who are trying to be entirely free of drugs and alcohol. Intel believes states are enabling addiction by expanding the use of Suboxone in prison.
I don't think the government realizes what they're creating, a monster that they've never seen anything like this.
The hell of a story, man. It's the same thing, the exact same thing that I saw with methadone. Sheehan's my man. I don't know what to say, brother. I mean, I see both sides, and I guess you do too, but this is shocking, these numbers, Andy. Shocking, brother. Man.
Well, that's right. I mean, the proponents say that it's the way to break the cycle of crime and punishment, that if you get on this stuff, you're not going to OD, and you can wean yourself off of heroin and fentanyl. But, the detractors say that, you're just basically keeping people high and docile in prison. About a fourth of the Pennsylvania prison population will be on it at the end of the year, and it's costing an incredible amount of money, and it's incredibly expensive.
Hey, Sheehan, one of my boys, an insider, said this: follow the money. They work in the system. They've been told to push Suboxone to inmates. They're creating addicts. They get in jail, and they kill time with it by getting high. They get high from this, Andy.
Well, that's in dispute. I mean, I talk to these addictionologists, and they say no, that they're just sort of stabilized. But I've talked to half a dozen people that have been on it, and they say, yeah, you're high. You get high, and it's difficult to get off. And it's not even clear if that's really the goal, to get off. It's like, we call it methadone a step-down drug. You decrease until you get off it entirely. But, people get on this for years, You know that surgeon at UPMC that was the focus of that suit, and it came out at trial that he had been on Suboxone for 9 years.
Wow.
And there's people that say, well, okay, that's cool. You know, you can function and you can be on this stuff.
But you're trading one addiction for another, your guy was saying, right?
Well, that's right. That's the argument. And there's people in recovery that go to AA and NA and believe in abstinence, believe in getting off of things, and they don't believe that this is what's being clean and sober.
And
the prison system and basically recovery systems is all in on medically assisted treatment. If you go to a rehab now for fentanyl or heroin, they're likely to put you on Suboxone.
It's true. Hey, so by math, you got 5,000 guys using it and about $40 million, and so they have another 4,000. You're talking $70, $80 million a year. That's a hell of a lot of money. And the guys are getting. Is everyone being offered this, Andy? Everyone?
Everyone in the prison system is being offered it.
Wow.
And I've talked to people. I've talked to nurses and people that have been in the prisons that didn't want to go on camera, but say, there's people that are 5 years into a 10-year stretch, and they can say, hey, I have a family history of addiction. I'd like to get on this, and likely they will be. I mean, why would you do that?
I don't know, brother. It's a hell of a story, my man. Andy Sheehan, you're the best.
It's very, very much underreported. I mean, this whole
I never heard of it, brother.
Thing. And one of the things that's irksome is that Big Pharma gets everybody addicted on OxyContin and opioids. And now we're coming in with the multi-billion-dollar cure for it all, right? And they'll get paid again.
Patrick's sitting here. Quite frankly, we've been following this guy that we actually found on the street and got him into rehab. And every time he overdosed, Patrick, they gave him Suboxone every single time. And every single time, Andy, he bolted from the treatment center and immediately hit the streets and shot up again. So it didn't work at all for him.
Well, the jury is out, and this is an experiment, and we'll see if this happens. The guys I've talked to at that recovery house say, hey, these guys get out, they're on Suboxone, pretty soon they're back on heroin.
My brother, Andy Sheehan, thanks, man. It's great stuff, as always.
Thanks, man.
Best reporter I know. The best. My man, very close friend of mine. Love the man. From the PJ Fitzpatrick, Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA traffic powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
Marty, crews are still clearing an accident from the south side on East Carson Street at South 28th, so definitely watch for slowdowns as you travel there. Slowdowns on the Parkway East continue to greet you between Wilkinsburg and Edgewood Swissvale, and you're getting in line at the top of Green Tree Hill on the Parkway West. Just a reminder that there continue to be some closures on the North Shore as crews are continuing to break down the infrastructure from the NFL draft. So through May 6th, the following North Shore roads remain closed per Visit Pittsburgh: Reedsdale Street, Chuck Knoll Way, Tony Dorsett Drive, Art Rooney Avenue, West General Robin Street to Tony Dorsett Drive, and also Scotland Avenue. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Dell PCs with Intel inside are built for the moments you plan. And the ones you don't. For the time you forgot your charger at the gate.
Passengers, we are now on our initial ascent.
Or when you're bouncing between projects like a ping pong ball. We build PCs with long-lasting battery life, so you're not scrambling for an outlet. And built-in intelligence, so you can stay focused on whatever you're doing. Dell Technologies, built for you. Dell.com/Dell PCs.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Amazon Business. With smart business buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
I'm attorney Ed Shenderovich. Have you been injured at work? You may have more than one claim. To find out if you do, call us at 888-98-TWINS for a free consultation. At Shenderovich, and Fishman, we've got your back, not your wallet.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't let bad feet stop you from being active and getting healthy. Trade in your bad feet for good feet at the Good Feet store.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I know people that are on the Suboxone, and some swear by it, and then others say it's a joke, and it just drags their loved ones further into addiction. So you know. The Sheehan piece is amazing. I saw the same thing with methadone. People on methadone for 17 years. Well, that's not a treatment, folks. Ryan, go ahead.
Marty, my man.
Brother.
Great to get through. Hey, love you. Sincerely ask you to give this topic some additional time. I'd love to just throw out two things in response to your last
Appreciate your calling. Go ahead. Yeah.
Absolutely. Number one, how many people do you know who have been on blood pressure, cholesterol, heart medications, not for 7, 8, 9 years, 10, 20, 30 years?
They don't get cravings from it. They don't have car accidents while they're on it. They don't commit crimes while they're on it.
No.
They don't commit robberies while they're on it.
I hear you, right, and
by the way, I'm not disparaging you, but I see where you're coming from. But I'm just throwing to the other side of it. Go ahead.
Sure. Well, we could probably pull on any of these threads as long as we want to. I think what came first, the chicken and the egg? That would be my response.
Are you on it?
I don't think anybody is getting the craving.
Are you on
from the medication?
Are you on it?
The craving came way before that.
Are you on it? No,
absolutely not. Nope.
Because hold on. The guys that I know that are on it say they get high from it. Is that accurate?
No.
You don't get high from blood pressure medication.
It's not true that everybody gets high from it, and I would counter you in saying a vast majority of people that I know on it, and in fact, an even greater proportion of people that have beat their addiction, do not have problems.
I wonder about what Sheehan said, that they're offering it to all the inmates in prison, and now they're just using it to get high and kill time. Is that a fair?
I appreciate the scrutiny on that, Marty. I'll tell you what, I think diagnosis is important, administration is important, and a care plan is important while they're in jail, when they come out of jail. But I have to tell you, Marty, I'm not joking, and I would love to be pressed by any of your other callers. There's never been a double-blind, placebo-controlled trial of people with substance use disorder where the people that received Suboxone did worse than the people that did not get it. They always
hold on. You must be, I mean, you're a brilliant guy in this area. You must be in addiction therapy or something, right? You're not just some amateur reading the back of a cartoon, right?
I'm a pharmacist by trade.
Wow.
Yes,
all right. So I need to get your information because I love you and I want to use you as a resource. I'm going to put you on hold.
Please do.
Grab his info, please, buddy. I love this guy. Ryan. I love experts. We kind of build our whole show around it. And when someone calls like him and has that background and that expertise, I'm all in. So I don't want to cut him short. A bunch of people on Vivitrol that has helped them immensely. Is that the same thing, Patrick? Vivitrol?
I'm not sure, honestly.
Yeah,
but I do know plenty of people, family members, who have transitioned to Suboxone from methadone.
And has it helped?
And it did help, but when you have those severe addictions and you're transitioning, stepping down to those things, that makes sense to me. If you don't have a bona fide verified addiction and you're stepping up to that, then yes, you're going to get high from it.
Oh, Vivitrol, once monthly intramuscular injection used to treat alcohol and opioid dependence by blocking opioid receptors. Hey, my man, I'm not disparaging it. Anything that helps. But it's a little weird. Like Sheehan says, now it's being offered to everyone in jail. Yeah, and now it's at $40 million, added to $100 million.
If they're blanket giving everyone access, that's a problem. Especially, there might be a history of addiction in my family. Let's try it.
No, you're right. Yeah.
That ain't right.
And by the way, I love Ryan calling, and I will use him. Go ahead, Bill. Thanks for your patience.
Let me get to back off the speakerphone here. But, actually, about 11 years ago, when I was actually driving home from rehab for knee surgery, I was going through Coriopolis.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I see a car in front of me just cut one way and then roll over.
Whoa.
Get the guy to sit down at the curb, and other than some minor stuff, he was okay. And when the one policeman got there and talked to him, he said, "Well, I just stopped at the clinic to pick up my methadone dosage."
Oh no!
But actually about Vivitrol, I don't know if he explained. Vivitrol, it's also called naloxone. That is what's called an opioid blocker. And they had a very good piece on 60 Minutes a few years ago where basically it was mandatory for anyone with an opioid-related offense. The day they get out of jail, they get a dose, and they have to report as a condition of their of their parole. Otherwise, they're violating parole. And actually, I think they said their recidivism rate, as far as people picking up their habit again, dropped dramatically.
That's amazing.
And one guy said, "It lets me think about what I might be doing."
Wow. So that might be a cool thing.
So yeah, it may be more of a expense up front, but if you cut the recidivism going back to usage by
all in.
Who knows, 50, 60, 70%, you saved a lot.
You did, and we lost you. It's a great call and great info. I love the conversation. Gio, go ahead. Thanks for holding, man.
About this Suboxone, I know someone personally in my life that's been on it for 10 years. Never been high. In fact, the job they do, you couldn't be high because it's climbing and working with
not to be a jerk here. I mean, are they not now addicted to Suboxone if they've been on it 10 years?
Oh, I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure there's a withdrawal. They have to withdrawal if they ever got off it. However, a doctor suggested he take this.
Yeah,
and he asked the doctor a long time ago, "How long can I take this?" And he said, "The rest of your life."
Oh,
if you want, yes.
Oh,
he said the rest of your life you want to, and this person functions great.
Wow,
drives, it's great.
So, hell of a conversation, the whole thing. Dustin, go ahead, man. Thanks for holding. Go ahead.
No problem, man. I'm just calling, listening to the topic. I have a ton of experience. The Suboxone is an absolute the wrong way to go for long term. I was on it for 8 years. Wow. It is the right way. I loved it. It helped me get my life on track.
Wow.
But as for the long term, it's government heroin, man. It can be a money thing.
How did you quit?
Sublocade. That's the way to go. The shot that eliminates all ways. I planned on being on Suboxone for the rest of my life because I had no intention of going through the hell that the withdrawal caused. But the Sublocade shot came about, and it's an absolute miracle. And anyone who did needs to look into that route. I'm on it myself right now. I've been getting the shot for the last 3 months, and I feel great.
Wow!
And I don't have to wake up and put the film under my tongue.
Wow!
You know?
It's a great phone call, man. Made my whole day.
Pittsburgh Regional Transit is now hiring full-time bus drivers. It's a great place to accelerate your career. We offer great pay and terrific benefits like healthcare, paid vacation time, dental, vision, and more. We're even offering a starting bonus for those who qualify. Call 412-566-5162 to pre-register for our upcoming hiring event on May 15th, 2026. Candidates may receive an offer that same day. Go to rideprt.org/careers to learn more. PRT is an equal opportunity employer.
I have serious problems with my voice. Cancer-related stuff. I end up with probably the best speech therapist, surgeon, doctor in the world at UPMC. Spent 2 days with them. Different breathing, different medications. And you probably noticed my voice has been better than ever. My point is, when you get engaged with UPMC, they make sure you're okay. Life-saving, life-changing information. UPMC.
Life's best moments start with perfect choices. For Connie Nowak, it was a trolley ride and a 67-year love story. A life of family, smart decisions, and companionship with Chester the cat. Her retirement choice? The Village at St. Barnabas. Recreation, healthcare, close to family, everything on her list. Right now, we'll make your move to the Village perfect too. Up to $2,000 toward moving costs. St. Barnabas Retirement Communities, stbarnabascommunities.com, or call 724-444-5568. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 54 degrees at 11:30. I'm David Ballarado. Pittsburgh's finances are tightening. New numbers show the city spent tens of millions more than it brought in last year. News Radio KDK's Tamira Rush has details.
City Controller Rachel Heisler said the city is now feeling the loss of federal pandemic aid, finishing 2025 with a nearly $45 million deficit.
Without the American Rescue Plan, we would have had a deficit in 2023 and 2024, and now here we are in 2025. The American Rescue Plan dollars account for almost exactly the net loss in 2025.
Heisler says revenues dropped while expenses climbed, and the city dipped into its rainy day fund. Heisler warns spending hasn't adjusted to the new reality and says moving forward, the city needs stricter budgeting and new long-term revenue sources. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
The man who was convicted of first-degree murder in February and the death of his missing girlfriend has now been sentenced to life in prison without parole. Thomas Stanko was accused of killing Cassandra Gross, who had disappeared back in 2018. He's also been sentenced to serve an additional 42 to 84 months for a related conviction of reckless burning. Her burnout vehicle had been found several days after she disappeared. The body of Gross has never been recovered. On Wall Street at this hour, stocks are higher. The Dow is up 66 points, well off of its earlier highs. The Nasdaq is currently 280 points higher. The S&P 500 is 49 points to the plus side. KDK Radio News Time, 11:32. Our next update at noon on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio KDKA.
Is your roof ready for April rain? Call Home Genius Exteriors now and get 50% off all roofing materials with 0% APR and no payments till 2027. Plus, get free gutters with your new roof. Call now to schedule your free, no-obligation roof and attic inspection from one of our experts. Call Home Genius Exteriors now at 855-U-R-GENIUS. That's 855, the letter U, the letter R, Genius. See website for details.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is
Just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The best words to hear at the TSA security checkpoint? You're good to go. All it takes is a little preparation. Get to the airport early, bring a carry-on bag that fits in the overhead, and have an acceptable ID. Not all state-issued IDs will cut it. Check out tsa.gov/ID and see which TSA acceptable IDs make the grade, like a real ID or passport.
Before you jet, do a little prep, and you're good to go. Check out tsa.gov/ID or the MyTSA app.
From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
What's up, Marty, is we still have delays out there this morning. If you're grabbing the keys and heading out the door and taking Route 65, Ohio River Boulevard, you're backing up with a multi-light delay before the intersection with Millerton Avenue as you make your way down to the McKees Rocks Bridge. Getting up onto the outbound lower deck of the Fort Pitt Bridge, trying to make your way to the Parkway West. You have heavy traffic coming from both the Parkway East and from the Portal Bridge and the Fort Duquesne Bridge. Parkway West on the inbound ride is stacking at the top of Green Tree Hill. Slow go for you as well on the Parkway East right around Edgewood Swissvale. And a reminder, closures for the marathon begin around noon today. They'll start with the Boulevard of the Allies closing from Stanwix to Wood Streets, and then more closures to be layered in until the race kicks off on Sunday morning. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Turning cloudy for the rest of today. It'll be quite cool this afternoon with rain at times, even a rumble of thunder, high 52 to 56. A stray evening shower, then partly cloudy and cold later tonight with patchy frost, low 34. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
All right, here we go. We have made it to the end of the week. What a week it was. It's going to be a better week next week, too. It's Friday. Colin Dunlap, 2 to 6. KDK.
When I was much younger, obviously, starting out at KD Television with my wife and I had moved back from Dallas, and we moved into Lebo. There was this pizza joint on the way home, and I just popped in there, and there was this young man in there that I was immediately drawn to. He's charming and kind and friendly and great pizza, just very cool. And then all of a sudden he closed, and next thing I knew, one of my friends sent me a text that he went to this insanely good restaurant called Cucina Bella. This is a true story. And he said he was sitting outside waiting for his pizza. He said the owner came out and asked him if he wanted some meatballs. This is a true story. And he's like, okay. So the owner of the restaurant brought pizza to his car and they had meatballs. And that's Cucina Bella, which I've probably been to 1,000 times and my kids grew up in. When I had cancer and I was really sick, I remember bringing my son, it makes me kind of emotional even thinking about how cool this has been for us, to Cucina Bella, and I couldn't swallow, and I was in all this pain, but my son wanted pizza, and I remember going to Cucina Bella, which is kind of Bridgeville, kind of Upper St. Clair, and sitting in this back table with my son and Carmen, the owner, and he's just asking me if I'm okay and what he can do for me while my son ate pizza because I couldn't eat and I couldn't swallow. And I really thought maybe I could die. And he's been there along the way. And in the process, he's created great meatballs. He has these T-shirts that say, Hail Mary, full of grace. And the Hail Mary, full of grace is how long it takes for him to make a meatball every day. So he says, Hail Mary, full of grace, while he's rolling it, and that's how long it takes. Hand-rolled meatballs every day. And he's a magnificent friend, but on top of that, he's an entrepreneur, and he's been at it. And why I wanted to grab him today is because he meant so much to this community and my family in general, because he is such a great man. To celebrate 15 years in that business is like 1,500 years in any other business. It's just that hard. My man, Carmen. Good morning, brother. How are you?
What's up, Marty? How you doing? Thanks for the kind words, man. You guys are the best. You're always so good to me, man. All you people.
So, Carmen, the rest, I've said this to you because we've been there so much and we're such close friends. I've said this to you many times. You're in the hardest business on earth. How do you stay in it for 15 years and succeed? What are the vitals, sir?
You know what? It's a great question. I don't think it really kind of, 15 years, I know there's a lot of people that family businesses have been in business for 20, 30, tons of years, but I don't know. Last week, because it was on Sunday, it was 15, and I started thinking, I was just by myself at the restaurant, I was just thinking, wow, I can't believe I've been here 15 years. I mean, my kids were so young. My daughter's graduating from college now next week. Like, there's so many things. I don't know. I don't really know how I did it. I always thought it was cool to make something with your hands, right, that you could give to someone and say, hey, I made that, and it's pretty cool, and I like talking to people and meeting people. And I always try to just buy. I think you can do it if you just, I try to buy the best stuff that I could all the time and hope that people would come back. But, it's had definitely strains on friendships and relationships because the thing is, doing your own thing, right? Everyone knows that's really hard, and there's always flexibility and stuff. But when it comes to the restaurant business, for me, working at night is tough. That's the hard part. You know what I mean? Because you're there late. You know what I mean? And it's really hard. But you definitely wear every hat, like you and I always talked about. You're a dad, and you're a banker, and you're loan the kids money if they need it. You're a therapist. You're everything, man. It's a hard business.
So something happened, and no one knows this better than Carmen. One of his boys, forever has been Joe T. Tambellini, and Joe T. hit the wall. Honestly, Joe T. hit the friggin' wall and hung it up. And this kind of affected you just to think of it, didn't it? Didn't it, Carmen?
Yeah, it did. I remember. So that next morning, I called him just to talk to him and say congratulations. We ended up being on the phone for an hour. Wow. And it was a really awesome phone call because every time I always kind of needed some sort of advice or something, I'd always call Joe and just talk to him. And he's just such a good person. Wonderful. And he said that, we talked about today's help. And I always tell you, everyone today thinks that WORK is a radio station, right? And then I talked to him because he said he made the one thing when it comes to all the people that work for you. He said, Colin, let me ask you something. I said, what? He said, really want you to think about this. And I said, what is it? And he said, when was the last time someone that worked at your restaurant for you requested off?
Oh.
And I said, oh, my God. You're absolutely right. No one requests off. In the beginning, when I first opened, it's like, hey, Carm, can I request off like next Friday, next Saturday? Now it's just, hey, it can't work. I'm going to hang out with Sheets. They don't do anything except hang out at Sheets. You go to Sheets. They don't do anything. But yeah, it's been a long road. I'm super thankful. I'm really grateful. Everyone in Bridgeville has been awesome. The neighbors have been great because, there's always people parking on the street and stuff. And the firemen, the policemen, everybody's been really good to me.
What do you love? What do you love most about it, Carmen? What do you love most about it? Because you have to love it to hang in there.
You know what? I loved making pizza, right? Yeah. I just liked it. And like I said, I dig it that I can make something and give it to you and you just kind of be satisfied from you telling me, like, it's really good. Because when I always said, like, if someone said, hey, how is the food? And they say it's good, they're just telling you it doesn't suck.
True.
So I just am always looking for another word or very good or something like that. And it's been really rewarding. And it's really cool now, too, that with my kids that are older, they'll work and they'll help me out. And I think that's really cool.
Carmen's daughter, with all due respect to pizza, this is not a lie. His daughter is a literal, legit supermodel. Yeah, right? Like big time.
It's the most bizarre story on the planet. We wanted her to work at the restaurant. She wanted to get a job, and I said, okay, come work at the restaurant. She said, I don't want to work at the restaurant. I kept on pushing, come to the restaurant. And she said, no, I'm going to get another job. I said, where do you want to work? She goes, well, I want to I'm thinking either Trader Joe's or the Hallmark store. And no offense to any of those people. I'm sure they're good jobs. But, you know, she has a nice, little thing here. So I said to her, listen, now, just come to work at the restaurant. I'll give you whatever you want. You want to work 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, whatever. Bring all your friends. You just want to spend time with her. And that little kid at 15, she took a picture of herself and in the middle of the night in her jammies, sent it out, and she gets this job, right?
She's a
and I
Ford
remember
model. She's in.
Well, listen. So what happened was I got the phone call from Danielle, her mom, and she said, hey, are you sitting down? I said, yes. She's like, I think Noelle got a job. And I was like, doing what? She was like, modeling. I'm like, modeling? For who? She says, Ford. My mind goes straight to Wilson Lynn. I'm like, are you serious? And then I got real fired up. I'm like, she's going to go seriously? I was thinking like auto show, sitting up down. Yeah, she goes, no, it's the Ford modeling agency, and they're one of the top 2 in the world. It's just unreal. I mean, it's crazy. God bless her.
For
She's such a
Chanel,
good kid.
Versace, I mean, she's a supermodel, and she still comes there and works at Cucina Bella.
She does. Now, listen, I mean, she does the modeling. She's got a great degree. She's graduating next week. But you know, as a hostess, we all love her, but we have been closed for 15 years on Mondays, and there has been a time or two she's taking reservations for a Monday when someone will call and we're not open. Like, you know what I mean?
Hail
So then
Mary
we got to
full
hear
of
it on
grace,
that
brother.
end. But
Hail Mary full of grace.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
Carmen,
That's it.
I'm going to drop another bomb. One of his good friends, this is no BS, is Eddie Vedder, the lead singer of Pearl Jam, because Eddie loves Cucina Bella. Does he not, sir?
Ed does like it. Ed likes it, you know. Ed Ed's the only guy that's allowed to smoke in the basement when he comes, you know, in the back room, you know. So, he asks. He says, "You care if I smoke? If I pay to have your basement clean, you care if I smoke a cigarette down here?" He can do whatever he wants, man.
So
that guy's Mick Jagger of our time. Love that guy.
Him. Before he goes, I got to mention one thing. He has a pizza there modeled after something my wife loves. I've known him longer than my wife. He has never, ever had a Marty Griffin pizza on the menu because he doesn't like me. And it's sad.
You know what? What am I going to call it? We call her the Christina. What am I going to call them? I can't call a pizza the Marty? I don't know. I mean,
Jag-off.
Oh yeah, they'll love that. Yeah, I'll be on 2, 4, and 11 in 6 seconds if I put a pizza called the Jag-off. What's wrong with you?
That's what you want, my man. Cucina Bella, Carmen, I love you, my man. 15 years, man.
Thanks,
Kicking
man.
ass.
I love you back.
All right, my man.
Thanks so much.
Later.
Talk soon.
He's amazing. You know why? He gives a damn. And 15 years, man, it's a hell of a long time. Cucina Bella. 15 years. Eddie Vedder is his boy. Pearl Jam. No kidding. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement, you should have a Marty pizza. Marty Party, call it. Put everything on it. Duh. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center. Ellen, right? Right, Ellen? Right?
Absolutely, Marty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Marty Party. There you go. All right. Not much of a party on the Parkway West today. It's still slow on the front side of Green Tree Hill. It has just been sluggish there all day long. So just a heads up if you're traveling in that direction. Getting up onto the outbound lower deck of the Fort Pitt Bridge through those outbound Fort Pitt tunnels to the Parkway West, headed toward the airport. That's a little bit slow go too, coming across from the Portal Bridge and the Fort Duquesne Bridge. You also have slow traffic coming from the Parkway East, so be aware of that. Parkway East inbound, sluggish at Edgewood Swissvale. Just a quick reminder for you, there are lane restrictions coming to the Parkway East in both directions, weather permitting 9 tonight, continuously through 5 on Sunday morning. That'll be between the Greensburg Pike and Wilkinsburg exit ramps. Again, plan ahead because there will be delays around that. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM at AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
You know Zero Res, the zero residue carpet cleaner that leaves your carpets truly clean with no dirt-attracting soaps or harsh chemicals. Don't risk it with the other guys and skip the DIY disasters that leave your carpets soaked for days. Keep the mud outside where it belongs, not trapped in your carpets. This month, get 3 rooms of carpet Zero Resified starting at just $139. Call 412-701-1188 or visit ZeroResPGH.com and ask for the KDKA special.
Celebrate Cinco de Mayo with Easy Cater, the best way to order great food from favorite restaurants for all your festivities. From April 27th through May 5th, every order placed earns you 1,000 bonus rewards points. From traditional favorites like enchiladas and mole to festive options like a build-your-own taco bar, even breakfast. Chilaquiles, anyone? Easy Cater makes food for Cinco de Mayo a cinch. Order now at EasyCater.com and get 1,000 bonus points on every order with promo code Cinco de Mayo 26. Restrictions apply. See offer details.
Introducing Home Care Plus, a new subscription service from Lowe's that helps make life easier by giving members a hand with home maintenance. Let Lowe's tackle the tasks you keep meaning to do, like electric dryer vent cleaning, replacing hard-to-reach light bulbs, and more. Subscribe to Home Care Plus for just $99 a year and consider your to-do list done. Members get more at Lowe's. Available in select zip codes only. Cancel anytime. Non-refundable fee. Product purchase required. Terms and service restrictions apply. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change.
Colin Dunlap on KDKA.
I look at these restaurant closings and I go, okay, did the American consumer not think this bubble was going to burst? Yeah, stuff costs more. Yeah, gas costs more. Yeah, it's all passed on to you. And at some point you go, I really can't go out to eat as much. And then bang, the restaurant closes. But wasn't the problem that we had way too many to begin with?
Weekdays 2 to 6 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Hi, I'm Peter Sagal. When we were growing up, my 2 brothers and I just loved our Uncle Ted. He was like a really cool big brother who always brought around the best toys and took us to the best places and with whom we always had the most fun. It was odd, though, when we got older, to realize he wasn't nearly as outgoing and adventurous with other adults. I found out much later that this might have had something to do with the ostomy bag he wore ever since he was diagnosed with Crohn's disease as a teenager and had part of his lower intestine removed. Theodor Skolnick, my Uncle Ted, died last year at the age of 80, never having once mentioned his illness to me or my brothers. He left a large bequest to the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation to help fund better treatments for these diseases and also to help other people, old and young, seek and get help for the situation that he was never able to talk about. Don't feel you need to hide your Crohn's or colitis. Go to spillyourguts.org to learn more about the treatments available and even find a specialist. That's spillyourguts.org.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
He's live, he's local, he's Marty Griffin. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Sometimes when you hear the music playing, I'm doing a little research. I have this little inhaler. Hear it? In the breaks, I use that too. As if you care. I was looking up how long restaurants last. Wow. 20 to 30% of restaurants fail in the first year. Okay? 50 to 60% of restaurants fail within 3 to 5 years. Wow. More than half. Wow. More than 90% of restaurants don't make it 10 years. I believe that. I believe it. And that's why I felt like Carmen's story was so fantastic that he's made it 15 years, because it's a very difficult business. I think it's the most difficult because there's so many moving parts. I have a good friend that owns a substantial number of like 9 or 10 restaurants, including ice cream joints and pizza joints, and he wants out. And he doesn't want out because he's not making money, but because he makes money. But the problem is, Carmen kind of alluded to it, no one wants to do this business anymore. No one. Most of the second generation kids have no interest in daddy's restaurant. They just don't. It's just, and then most kids, young kids out of college, have no interest in those hours. And food costs are insane. And so just recently, think about what it costs for a pizza. When they used to be $5, they're now $35. And Carmen has to manage all that. And then most of his staff is young. And then insurance and everything else, and personal issues and financial issues and COVID. And so it's a miracle that he's been here 15 years. It just is. And that someone is able to maintain that quality for 15 years. I have a bunch of friends that are in the business. My man Greg, who owns Off the Hook and Napa Prime, Glenn Hawley and his wonderful wife. It's your whole life. It consumes you. And if you've been to those restaurants, they're always there, man. They're always smiling. It's 11 at night, man. You're getting home at 3 in the morning. And then someone's stealing from the bar, someone's stealing from the kitchen, someone's giving away free food, someone else is giving away free drinks. I remember Glenn Hawley telling me that, like, stone crab from the area of the Ukraine went up to like $100 a pound because of the war with Ukraine. And it used to be $22 a pound. And steak, for 800 reasons, there are only two big companies that now slaughter. It's gone up exponentially. And last time you were at Giant Eagle, what did filet cost? About pushing $35, $40 a pound. And so staying in that business and staying on top is insanely hard. Which is why Joe Tambolini, one of the top 5 restaurateurs in Pennsylvania, said, hell with it, I'm out. Left at the top of his game. And I texted him last week. He said he's never been happier. He might come on for us as a food influencer, doing restaurant videos. It's that hard. So congrats to Carmen and Kachina Bella for making it 15 years and kicking ass along the way.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
I'm with Joe Potachnik from JP Roofing and Siding, a platinum preferred contractor from Owens Corning. Joe, what does that mean?
It's an elite status. We earn that by using Owens Corning products to qualify for the platinum preferred warranty. That's a 50-year warranty on the materials and 25-year on the labor, 100%.
That's the upper 1% in America after 45 years, Joe. Congratulations.
Thank you, Larry.
Call JP Roofing and Siding, 412-829-7711.
Serious problems with my voice. Cancer-related stuff. I end up with probably the best speech therapist, surgeon, doctor in the world at UPMC. Spent 2 days with them. Different breathing, different medications. And you probably noticed my voice has been better than ever. My point is, when you get engaged with UPMC, they make sure you're okay. Life-saving, life-changing information. UPMC.
Hey, it's Pony for my friends at Comer and Cross. Does your garage floor have cracked and stained concrete? Mine did. Maybe your garage floor had a bad epoxy or paint job. A new Comer and Cross garage floor is going to transform your whole garage, and all it's going to take is one day. I love mine, and you'll love yours. If you call them right now, and you should do it, don't waste another second. They'll take 50% off your installation. So here's that number, 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. A Comer and Cross garage floor is the gold standard. It is guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. And just like they did for me, they will make it so easy for you. Stuff in your garage, they'll take it out. Cracks and pits, they'll fix them perfectly. Look just like new. And they're going to put their proprietary Comer and Cross finish on it. So I want you to call them now and get that 50% off installation. The number is 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. 800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERCross.com. It's Comer and Cross Premium Concrete Coating.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 54 degrees at 12 o'clock. I'm David Ballarado. Pittsburgh City Controller unveiling a new report showing a $45 million deficit in the city's latest financial results. News Radio KDK's Tamira Rush is in the newsroom with details.
David, City Controller Rachel Heisler says the deficit is also showing up in the city's shrinking rainy day fund, which ended 2025 about $166 million.
The 2024 fund balance was at $199.9 million. The 2025 figure represents a decrease of $33.8 million. Budget projections have this figure decreasing to $79 million by the end of 2030, representing the fund balance as 11% of expenditures.
Heisler pointed to rising costs and relatively flat revenue growth, even with gains in several tax categories, including increases in deed transfer, earned income, payroll preparation, and parking taxes. She says the city will need to tighten spending and refocus on core services moving forward. In the newsroom, Tamira Rush, News Radio, KDKA.
A Westmoreland County judge today sentenced 55-year-old Thomas Stanko to life in prison without parole following his conviction on murder and other charges back in February. Stanko was charged 4 years ago in the death of his former girlfriend, Cassandra Gross, though her body was never found after her 2018 disappearance. A judge declared her legally dead in 2019. Not long after her disappearance, Gross's abandoned vehicle was found burned out. During the trial, Stanko was also convicted of reckless burning, which led to an additional 42 to 84 months on top of his sentence for the murder. The number of homicides handled by Allegheny County's medical examiner's office is now at 21 cases for the year. 9 of those are from the month of April alone. Though one of the April cases, the death of 28-year-old Stefan Peak, happened outside of Allegheny County. As the face-off continues between the Trump administration and Iran, the Islamic State has issued a new proposal to try to end the conflict. The White House is trying to get Iran's pledge for never trying to build a nuclear weapon solidified, though. The proposal comes on the day after the War Powers Act may or may not require a halt to the conflict or congressional approval to continue that. CBS News correspondent Natalie Brandt is at the White House.
Well, GOP lawmakers over on Capitol Hill have largely remained supportive of the administration's military operation in Iran. Some have publicly acknowledged that these high prices are becoming a political issue. You know, the midterms just months away now. And we know from hearing from drivers and voters out there, this is on their minds.
On Wall Street, the Dow is 20 points higher. The Nasdaq is up 298, and the S&P 500 is currently 48 points higher. KDKA Sports, the Pirates host the Reds tonight at 6:45. Mitch Keller to get the start. The news is brought to you by PJ Fitzpatrick. Need a new roof or just want to repair a small leak? Trust PJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time 12:03. It's 54 degrees, raining in the Pittsburgh area. The AccuWeather forecast is next.
Progressive knows you think the grass is always greener, like maybe you ride a motorcycle. But today, it's raining. So you wish you had an RV, but if you did, you'd have to listen to some guy parked next to you at a campsite plays acoustic guitar. Now, before you start wishing you had a boat, remember, your brother-in-law would invite himself every weekend.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
But one thing that is greener is the money you could save when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
You know the rush when you reach that goal, when something you've worked for pays off. That's success. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move your career forward. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science. Build your leadership and critical thinking skills. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 13th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shell.
Join Rob Pratt every Sunday at 11 a.m. for Black and Gold Sunday, presented by Coons Market, your hometown Pittsburgh grocer. Rob keeps you posted on Pittsburgh sports with 2 hours of exciting talk. That's Black and Gold Sunday, 11 to 1, presented each week by Coons Market.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Turning cloudy for the rest of today. It'll be quite cool this afternoon with rain at times, even a rumble of thunder, high 52 to 56. A stray evening shower, then partly cloudy and cold later tonight with patchy frost, low 34. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
It's Marty Griffin on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
We have spent quite a bit of time discussing the juvenile crime problem in Pittsburgh and nationwide. And oftentimes our stories are very frustrating because they never get caught, they never get punished. Sometimes we have a victory. This is kind of wild how this one went down. And I wanted to bring in one of my boys, Mike Fisher, Scanner Mike, to kind of go through this. Good afternoon, brother. How are you?
Marty, good afternoon. Doing good.
So lay this scenario out for us and then tell our listeners how we ended up posting this video on social of these idiotic teenagers.
Marty, we got a submission of a video from a vehicle, one of the newer vehicles that has the cameras on them. There's a bunch of different models and brands that do that now. And we did was to compile this information and provide it to you, the king, of course. And we were able to get a particular suspect identified as they lowered their face mask in front of a camera, smiling wide and happy.
It's so true. In fact, when he sent this to me, he pointed it out, and then Patrick magnificently produced it so that in the video that we posted, what was it, Patrick? Is this 2 days ago?
Yes.
Yeah. So I get approached in a text last night from detectives. They used that video, Mike, to identify the idiot who took his face mask down. And shocking, brother, that kid who's out there stealing cars, and it looks like he's sporting a rifle or some kind of weapon along with that, is only 15 years old. Are you surprised?
Not surprised, but I'm dismayed. But this is what we're dealing with today, modern times.
And what time of night was that?
Marty, according to the records, that happened around 4 a.m. exactly in the Knoxville neighborhood in the city of Pittsburgh.
So a 15-year-old kid with a gun is out stealing cars at 4 in the morning, right?
Yeah, with a partner. Also ransacking a car at the same time that had its door unlocked.
Now, I want to bring J.K. into this because he kind of has so much insight into juvenile crime and this hysteria. What's bizarre about this or interesting about this? So they identified the kid, and this becomes so trivial in the justice system that they're going to send him a summons. J.K., does that surprise you at all? My man's going to get a ticket in the mail.
Yeah, where we're at, right? Daycare centers around here. We don't run juvenile detention. It's a daycare center.
Hey, Mom, what do I do with this ticket? Throw it away, Johnny. Put it in the stack with the other ones.
Yeah, throw it in the garbage with that ankle bracelet they're going to put me on.
Hold on, which leads to my next point, which is actually brilliant the way J.K. transitioned to it. So they arrest a kid, and this isn't surprising. It's just the way we're at. They arrest a kid. How many cars do they think he stole? 100 cars or broke into at least 100, J.K.?
Yeah, they said, from what I seen on the news, there was a 17-year-old teen broke into over 100-plus vehicles, stole 12 vehicles across Beachview, Brentwood, Brookline, and leased to Mom. That's what happened. Gone.
Hold on. So you're hearing this, Mike. So your guy stole a couple cars. He's only 15. It's trivial. He's a pimple. The big shot kid broke into 100 vehicles, stole at least a dozen, and they sent him home to Mommy. So there's no hope here, is there, Mike? None.
Marty, when I hear incidents downtown as well, whether it be theft, fighting crime of any sort, it's usually juvenile release to parents.
It's true. It doesn't really make you feel good about trying to get these people arrested, does it, Mike?
It must also be frustrating for law enforcement that all these charges or these cases, the amount of hours you put in to trace someone to perform these acts and have bulletproof evidence, only to be released to Mommy. You know, that's not particularly the deterrent that we want to see, and that kid's going to be doing it again and again and again until he kills someone or gets killed himself.
Well, J.K., to add insult to that, and you know this because last week when they arrested one of the teenage punks for creating massive crime, they tried to release the teenage punk to Mommy, but Mommy was in jail for holding a guy hostage. So at the end of the day, J.K., this is a horrible cycle of crime, is it not, sir?
It is. It's a hand-me-down situation. You know, their aunts and uncles, mom and dad's pictures are on the mantle, and they're all prison photos. So they have no structure. They don't understand anything else. They grew up in a criminal element in a criminal world inside their household that wasn't a safe place for them. It was a criminal element. And they just went with what they know. They know how to commit crimes and do different things. You know, they're following the lead of their parents and so forth like that.
Patrick, how old was the kid who was stealing the guns? He couldn't get up over the counter. How old was he, 11?
12.
12. And J.K., this is like those Kia boys, right? Right?
Same thing. So I did a little quick research on my man up there with 100 vehicles. Turns out he's a career juvenile criminal machine, has 2 priors for assaulting his family members.
Wow.
Sent right back home after he was arrested, taken to the station. They returned him to the scene and let him go. Last summer, he wrecked a stolen car into a vape shop on Brookline Boulevard. He was immediately released the mother. Nothing happened. 1 week, don't be a criminal class. Released out onto the streets and stole another 100 cars, or broke into 100 vehicles and stole 12 more. Wow. So here's my point to that. Mayor, okay, and the politicians, they know nothing's going to happen in court. So they're already blocking and defending the hit that they're going to take, because these kids are all walking and are about to walk. So the mayor, his personal statement was, our officers did their job, and they found out they found out who was doing these break-ins. From there, that's where we end. We go through the criminal justice system, and whatever happens, the judges rule. The judges rule. That's it. So he's aware that the system does not work. So he's already setting up roadblocks for the heat that he's about to get, because this he's getting released.
Well, Mike, it kind of points out our little deal here. So you get video, we post it, we talk about it, we get the guy identified, we're all happy. Then I get sent a note, they're going to send him a summons in the mail, which in essence means nothing, does it, Mike? It's frustrating as hell.
Marty, a summons in Allegheny County, you appear before a judge if you decide to show, or you skip and get a warrant. And you appear before a judge, and it's off their justice system. So, unfortunately, the voters need to do their job as better, if not as good as or better than the police officers, and the system works.
Sam. We're not quitting. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
Glad to be here.
JK, we got to stay with this until someone pays attention. What is weird about the NFL draft, JK, and I know you noticed this, the Jagoff teens they arrested downtown last week, they immediately brought them to jail and immediately decided to try them as adults for the 3 days. For the 3 days of the draft, my man.
Smoke and mirrors. That's all that is. Smoke and mirrors. Look it up. Showing the world, look, this is what we did or what we can do. And we prosecute crime in here. The second the media leaves and the NFL leaves, it's back out on the street. Guys are taking dumps on Smithfield Street. Sure. There's needles out there. Sure. The juveniles are coming back from school, so look out.
Sure. Truth to power. JK, thanks. Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Got to keep telling it.
Listen to the Marty Griffin Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. Ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
If you or someone you know suffered any injuries involving a deployed airbag, you could be entitled to compensation. Morgan & Morgan has already recovered millions. Get America's largest injury law firm fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Life-saving, life-changing information. UPMC. Love it.
Life's best moments start with perfect choices. For Connie Nowak, it was a trolley ride and a 67-year love story. A life of family, smart decisions, and companionship with Chester the cat. Her retirement choice, the village at St. Barnabas. Recreation, healthcare, close to family, everything on her list. Right now, we'll make your move to the village perfect too. Up to $2,000 toward moving costs. St. Barnabas Retirement Communities, stbarnabascommunities.com, or call 724-444-5568.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
This is CBS Eye on Veterans. Navy SEAL veteran Marcus Capone shares how a celebrity podcaster helped move President Trump to authorize an executive order demanding the exploration of psychedelic therapy for our veterans.
Joe Rogan, right? He's got a huge platform on topics that people are interested in. This is one of them, right? He's talked about psychedelics for an extremely long time. He's talked to enough veterans to Mexico and did ibogaine or did ayahuasca or did a psilocybin retreat. And I think he just one point just is like, why are we still waiting to approve these treatments? Like, what is the red tape, you know? And I think he has a close relationship with President Trump and just shot him a note.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth and investigate true crime cases. 48 Hours, CBS Saturday, and streaming on Paramount Plus.
The 50,000-watt voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Because in the breaks I put my feet up because I'm old, and my ankles swell because I'm old. And Trevin is very conscientious, and I'm not. And he gets nervous because I got my feet up because I'm old, and I start falling asleep because I'm old, and the music starts playing and my feet are up. He thinks I'm dead because I'm old, but I'm really just trying to mess with him because I'm old. I love him.
Well, you're successful because you mess with me every time.
Because Patrick is a veteran of my idiosyncrasies, he just sits there. He knows. He's shaking his head.
Well, I know you're messing with Travis.
There's a little thing that goes on every morning before I get in here. Mutt and Jeff here, the two big brains, or medium-sized brains, depending on how much coffee they had. They sit back there in our little enclave where we put the show together, and they actually put all the audio together and video and actually do a magnificent job. And honestly, full disclosure, we have become quite a close team, and we actually love each other. And as Patrick moves to, which he is, going to move to Phoenix, we're going to still do this, but Trevor's going to do more. Trevin's going to do more, even if I change his name once in a while. But every morning they sit back there. And this morning we came up with the analogous team of doofuses that they remind me of. And they're the two old guys. Go ahead, Trevor. Two old guys from what show?
It's not the doofuses, and it's Sesame Street. And I can't believe, Patrick, we grew up on it. The Muppets. The Muppets, there you go. But they were on Sesame Street, too. The Muppets were on Sesame Street.
The two
there you go.
cranky old guys.
The balcony.
That sit in the balcony and bitch, right? Pretty much.
But that's not what we do, Patrick. Make sure he's right. Not completely. Thank you.
So what I do, because I'm an idiot, is I will come in and listen to them conducting their little version of The View and just make fun of them because I'm good at it. So that's what we do every day. In this last break with my feet up, I was actually texting Rachel Heisler, the city controller. And I wanted to get into some. Did you see these numbers, Patrick? No.
Mm-mm.
It's kind of wild. She just released this. I guess she's doing a newser, and I know that Tamara is there, and she'll have the details. The general fund for the city of Pittsburgh last year, this is not surprising, but it's also a lot of money, spent $44.7 million more than it received. Oops.
God.
Oops. Yep. Expenses totaled $732 million. An increase of 9.2 million compared to 2024. Oops. The rainy day fund now has Statler and Waldorf. Those are the names of the two old guys. Ellen Gamble. Which one you want to be, Chief? Statler or Waldorf? Waldork. I'm trying to get Heisler to pop in here. I don't know what time our news conference was. Rachel Heisler, this is what city finances look like without American Rescue Plan funds, which, by the way, is the point, right, Patrick?
Exactly.
It saved our ass, is what she's saying.
Completely, even though there's, I guess, question marks about where that spending went.
This is the reality we've been warning about for the past 2 years. Oops. Oh, on the whole, revenue and expenditures are more or less stagnant year over year. But things are more expensive. And she offers this warning. I love her, by the way, big fan. We're still spending like we have millions of dollars, federal dollars, sitting in the bank. Here we go. The city saw significant increases in revenue sources in 2025. Deed transfer tax up $4 million from 24. $10.6 million over budget. Earned income tax. Yes, we will do that, Rachel. 1 p.m. We will have her live at 1 p.m. I love it. I love her. I'm a big fan. Interest earnings decreased by $7.9 million compared to 2024. Oops. This is where we're at. And this is the harsh reality. At the end of the day, if we stay on this path, and she'll tell you this, she won't use these words, but I will, we're screwed. Right? We are. Someone had to see this train coming, right? I would think. Someone had to tap someone on the shoulder and go, I don't want to ruin the free lunch here, but we spent $45 million, almost $50 million more than we have. Oh. Go ahead.
Well, this is why there's been a raise in taxes. Remember, they raised taxes to raise, what, $20 million?
Yes, sir.
Oops, we need $40 million. So does that mean we're going to have another tax raise coming, or are they going to actually cut some spending?
To his point, one of those two has to happen, doesn't it, brother?
It has to.
Unless someone gets some big new jobs, something.
And they can't count one-time commitments from the nonprofits to fill that hole forever.
No way. So there we have it. We spent $44.7 million. So the city last year finished with a net loss of $44.7 million. That's a problem, I would think. That's a big problem. And somebody better wrap their arms around it fast and be honest with it fast. Or we're screwed. Big time.
It seems like just yesterday when I captured my son's first steps or when we recorded his soccer games on VHS tapes. Those moments are gone. But the old home movies and pictures don't need to be. That's why my son created Legacy Box.
That's right, Mom. Over 1 million families have used Legacy Box to digitally preserve their old home movies and photos.
Simply fill Legacy Box with your old camcorder tapes, film, and photos. They will professionally digitize and send them back on DVDs, thumb drive, or the cloud.
With Mother's Day around the corner, it's the perfect time to get your Legacy Box and save your family's history. After all, few things are as important as protecting your precious memories. Give your mom a Mother's Day present she'll never forget. Take advantage of our Mother's Day sale, which starts now. It's our best deal of the year. Save up to 60% off. Visit legacybox.com/radio and for a limited time, get an incredible 60% off your order. That's legacybox.com/radio for 60% off. Legacybox.com/radio.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why? Why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Make Cinco de Mayo delicious with Easy Cater, the easiest way to order food from favorite restaurants for all your celebrations. From April 27th through May 5th, every order placed earns you 1,000 bonus rewards points. Whether you're looking for traditional favorites like tacos and tortas, festive options like a build your own nacho bar, or hosting a breakfast fiesta with huevos rancheros and breakfast burritos, Easy Cater makes food for Cinco de Mayo a cinch. Order now at easycater.com with promo code Cinco de Mayo 26. Restrictions apply. See offer details.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 55 degrees under cloudy skies. At 12:30 in Pittsburgh, I'm Pat Septak. Pittsburgh's latest financial report showing a $45 million deficit in 2025. City Controller Rachel Heisler says city expenses are rising in part due to major operational costs, including fleet-related spending.
Our office released our first report highlighting our concerns about the city's fleet last year. We spent an average of more than $1 million a month to maintain our fleet in 2025.
Heisler says those kind of ongoing costs are adding pressure to the budget as the city works through tighter financial conditions following the end of federal relief funding. Sentencing today in a high-profile murder case in Westmoreland County. News Radio KDKA's David Ballarado has more.
Judge Michael Seward today sentenced 55-year-old Thomas Stanko to life in prison without parole following his conviction on murder and other charges back in February. Stanko was charged 4 years ago in the death of his former girlfriend, Cassandra Gross, though her body was never found after her 2018 disappearance. A judge declared her legally dead in 2019. Not long after she disappeared, Gross's abandoned vehicle was found, burnt out. During his trial, Stanko was also convicted of reckless burning, which led to an additional 42 to 84 months on top of his sentence for murder. David Ballarado, News Radio, KDKA.
The latest spike in gas prices has some people protesting at gas stations. CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace has more.
Protesters in front of a Speedway station in Warren, Michigan are holding signs that read, MAGA, Make American Gas Affordable. Jill Murphy organized the protest.
I have family members who are ill, and I can't go visit them across the state or up north because it's too expensive right now to drive.
Joel Rutherford is retired and doesn't drive as much, but he's still feeling the impact.
Gas prices don't affect just gas prices. It's also the price of groceries. It's the price of just everything that's in the economy.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 74 points. The NASDAQ is up 242 points. And the S&P 500 is up 34. KDKA Radio News Time is coming up on 12:32. Our next update at 1 o'clock. I'm Pat Septak on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio KDKA.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
This is Dr. Peduzzi with the American Back Centers in Wexford. A common question I get from patients is, are my only options steroid shots
or surgery? The answer is no. You should consider a second opinion. At American Back Centers, we use our non-surgical decompression protocol, a cutting-edge treatment that targets the actual cause of your back pain without heavy medications, steroid shots, or invasive surgery. Schedule your free evaluation online at AmericanBackCenters.com or call us today at 724-935-3300.
At American Back Centers, you've got nothing to lose but the pain.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
The rest of today will be mostly cloudy and quite cool. We'll have rain at times this afternoon, perhaps a rumble of thunder, high 52 to 56. A stray evening shower, then some clearing later tonight and cold with frost in places, the low 34. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Join Beth Andrews for the Net Worth Financial Hour Saturdays at 1 to get the news and information you need to make your retirement dream a reality. That's the Net Worth Financial Hour with Beth Andrews, Saturdays at 1. Net Worth Advisors, LLC is a registered investment advisor.
Life-saving, life-changing information. UPMC. Love it.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
They're going to have to, we're headed toward this fiscal cliff. There's still money in a surplus, over $100 million. But the problem is if you blow through it at $40, $50 million a year, you're done. You're in deficit situation. Then you have to raise taxes again, and you're screwed. And that's the facts, Jack. And the thing I like about Heisler is she's actuarial, so she just lays it out and tells you flat out. This is where we're at. We better do it. And we better do it now. The house is on fire. The house is on fire. It's actually kind of fascinating and a bit tragic and very stressful for many Americans what's happening. And to bring it close to home, we all know this, that the county raised taxes by almost 50%, right? I saw it in my bill, did you? Then the city raised taxes by almost 30%, right? Right? And so now everybody's paying more. And then you throw this into the angst. I got the super premium gas, which some of the high-end cars, if you have a sports car, or a luxury car, or even I have a Genesis, it takes the, as we used to call it back in the day, high test. It's over $5 a gallon. That's adult money. That's adult money. I had to grab one of my favorite people, and we become good friends, because I love, first of all, his intellect. I love that he's a homer. I love that he loves Pittsburgh, and I love that he has the juice to meet the king and shake his hand, which, you know, the king was asking, hey, is that Marty Griffin a good guy? Wasn't he, David?
The draft, Marty. he was asking about the draft. He was saying, how did the Steelers do in the draft?
Hey, I had to reach you today because and you're very smart about this stuff. It's weird, man. We've hit an inflection point with gas prices. And David, I haven't seen this yet with our audience, which is big. And the rage, it hit the fan, I would say this morning, David, because now it's over. We're pushing $4.50 a gallon, and the high octane's $5 a gallon. It is that inflection point, isn't it, sir?
Hey, listen, Marty, as you and I talked about this before, and I talk about this with a lot of people, you know, my friends in Hopewell, Aliquippa, Ambridge, right? And people in Beaver County that I know and talk to, right? and in the South Hills and the North Hills, when they put their hand in their pocket to pull out some cash to pay the pump, they pull out a 20, used to fill their tank, doesn't come close to it, right? Doesn't come close to doing anything. But gas was $2 and down at $2, and when Trump was in, kind of going in the right direction, now this is occurring. Now, I will say this, Marty. I think the president is doing the right thing right here on Iran. I think he's doing it, but I think the messaging is pretty diluted in terms of.
What do you mean the right thing? I don't see anything he's doing that's the right thing. I'm confused.
No, listen. Yeah, Marty, I think that you have to decapitate the regime's ability to export terror.
True.
And export nuclear weapons at some point, right? We don't want anybody detonating some nuclear weapon at a Steelers game 20 years from now or 10 years from now.
That narrative is getting old with people.
Yeah, but I know, Marty. I understand.
Yeah, I know you do.
But the president should have articulated that and said, hey, up front,
he should have.
This is going to suck for 6 months or so, maybe longer.
That's true.
But we're doing it. What we're doing it for is your kids and your grandkids. And just like people had sacrifice in World War II, this is a war for the future of America. And we're going to tighten our belts collectively, and we're going to make the sacrifice to make America and the world better. And he should have built a coalition. He should have built a coalition.
He sold us out by saying two things. I will never get into that kind of war, and I'm going to bring prices down. So now everyone's saying, screw you, buddy.
Marty, 100%. This president ran on no foreign wars. I'm not going to get you in that war. I'm going to drive prices down. So I can understand why people feel PO'd. They're upset. They're like, this is not why we voted for you.
I got to play you something, man, because you're very intelligent about the narrative. I watch him all the time because I love him, and he's so cool and pragmatic in his debate. I want you to hear this. All right, hold on a second. All right, David, hold on.
Sure.
This is last night. Go ahead.
I was only a few years old while you were in the administration defending prior endless wars. Now, this war is failing.
8 weeks is endless to you?
Okay, you said it was going to be 4 to 6 weeks.
You have the attention span of a gnat?
Homie, I debated you on TV 4 to 6 weeks ago, and you said we were weeks away from it. Now you're making condescending remarks because you can't defend the fact that this war is not going your way. Wait, one more time.
Not going your way.
Name one political concession. Name one political concession.
Honestly, I'm not going to have this guy's name in my face.
Everybody, hang tight,
honestly.
Okay? No, everybody calm down.
The reason why I want to ask David Urban about this, not to draw him into some debate about CNN, but debate about the approach of this. You're not that way. You would never do that. And Scott literally said to that kid, Adam Moxler, get your effing hand out of my face, and wanted to hit him. That doesn't help anyone, does it, David? Not being critical of either one of them because they're both very bright, right?
Is a good friend and is on there every night fighting the fight, and he never loses his cool. And sometimes you get pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, and then you got pushed. I don't think he wanted to fight. I think he regrets those and the animosity.
I love Scott. I think he's brilliant.
He's a smart guy, very witty, and really good at what he does. Yep. I just think he gets pushed to your limit, and that setting, I think he probably regrets saying that. But Scott's a great guy and does a great job defending the president.
Yeah.
But like the Moxley kid, the kid did have a point, right?
He did. He's good too.
The kid has a point.
Yeah.
The kid has a point saying, at what point is this going to be over? It was 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. This is why I think the president at the Jump Street should have said, look, this is going to could take 4 months, could take 6 months.
Nice.
Could take, and try to build up a coalition with our NATO allies and others in the region and say, listen, we're doing this for everybody, right? We don't want the Iranians to be blowing up buildings, people, ships, whatever, in the future. We don't want them holding the world hostage in the future. So we have to do this now because they're getting to a point of it's a critical juncture. They're at a tipping point where they're going to be able to do a lot of this stuff, and we don't want a nuclear-capable Iran.
Yeah.
If he'd have sold that, I think at the front end, people would be more willing. They'd say, okay, well, we don't like it. We don't like it, but I could see. I don't want my kids being threatened by these crazy people. I mean, people forget these guys killed all these Marines, 283 Marines. They blew them up.
Oh, I don't
forget. They took our hostages.
I don't forget.
They took our hostages. Marty, I always say to people, Do you remember what it felt like on September 12th when we woke up on September 12th, how sick everybody was in this country? And we said, never again. We're never going to let that happen to us again, right? And then we kind of whistled past the graveyard on lots of things.
But I think where you're right is that you got to be honest with us and say, this is where this could end up, folks, but this is our goal. Rather than this war's over, all they got to do is make a phone call. People start saying, shut up.
Yeah, well, they don't believe it. You have credibility. Marty, credibility is the biggest thing. This president is incredibly transparent, and he should have just said, look, this is the situation, people. We got a shit situation here. We got a bad country that wants to do bad things to our people. Not a bad country. The Persian people are very smart, great people. They got a bad leadership. I mean, if you look back in the 70s when the Shah was there, women went to school, young girls, women are doctors, it was a very Western-oriented country. And kind of stable, just like Beirut was, and then all of a sudden the theocratic regime took over in Tehran, and Beirut has gone downhill. Lebanon has gone downhill. Nobody goes on holiday to Beirut. It's a terrible place, right? Same in Iran. It used to be one of the leaders in the world of lots of things. Persian people, great people. Again, this regime there their sole focus is death to America. They continue to chant death to America.
As recently as this week, by the way, chanting that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so the question becomes, if the administration could have said more up front, look, here's your choices: death to America, because it is binary, right? Death to America, with a country that has these things, these weapons, or we're going to pay $5 for gas for 6-8 months. Like your choice.
It could be that long, David. Right? I mean, I feel that. Right?
Listen, Marty. I think it's do you see it in sight? The Iranians, right? They do not listen. I think the embargo is working and choking them out. Right? They do have the ability to store fuel more than we think.
They can't make money anymore.
They can't make money. Yeah. They're a pariah, right? The Chinese, President Trump has a meeting with President Xi coming up here in a few weeks. The Chinese really need the oil from the Iranians. Others do as well. There's going to be incredible pressure on Iran. Like if I was Iran, I would turn over my nuclear dust, because now they have figured out that they can control the world by shutting down those straits.
Yeah, but
right?
they ain't you, man. Sorry, I wish they were.
I know. I wish they were that smart though, because this is how it could wrap up. Right?
Hey,
they could turn over the nuclear material.
I got to get to something really cool, and I'm not kidding. My man is more connected than Jesus. David is, and so he sends me this photograph, which is insanely cool. Describe it for folks and tell us how it happened, please.
Yeah, so Marty, I was invited. I do, I'm in Washington. I do a lot of work with different people in Washington. I'm friends with the embassy, the British embassy, and others, and the president, and others. And so I was invited to a function, not the state dinner, not the White House. Although I was invited to the White House for some different ceremonies with the king. I was invited to a smaller, and I say smaller with air quotes because there were 500 people there. But the 500 people, it was Pelosi, Johnson, right? It was the Secretary of Energy, lots of CEOs. So there wasn't 500 random people, right? It was 500 leaders.
Didn't they call it a tea party?
Yeah, it was a tea party. It was a party out in the garden.
That's beautiful.
There were tea. They served sandwiches. They had lots of things outside, and it was a lovely event. And I got a few minutes with the king. My wife and I got a few minutes with the king, and one of my friends who works for the embassy. She's a diplomat. I plugged her. I said she did such a great job. She was doing a great job, and she was given this year. She's been given what's called the Order of the British Empire. So she's being knighted this year. And I said to the king, I said, Your Majesty, if I can be so bold, I think the best thing that you've done this year is you invested Shania. Her name's Shania. So you invested Shania as OBE. And he kind of laughed and he said, "Thank you."
Thank you, David. David, you're wonderful, David.
And he said, she does good work. And I said, yes. And so it's a brief conversation. But upon his departure, the king, she had a private audience with the king, and he gave her another private award that only he can give out, a very prestigious award for her service to him personally. So it was great. She's a great person. It was a very interesting event. The king is
directed to
interesting guy, very interesting character.
It's good to be the king, David, which you are.
It is good to be the king of England, not the king of Aliquippa. I'm the king of Clearview. That's where I grew up. It's like,
you're the
all
best,
right, buddy. Hey, Marty, thanks for having me, and thanks for doing what you're doing. My love to all the people in the Berg.
All right, my man. David Urban, the legend.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA, covered by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company.
The Pittsburgh Power and Fitness Festival returns May 16th and 17th at the DLCC. Witness elite bodybuilding, strength sports, and martial arts. Shop the massive expo and meet fitness celebrities. Get tickets now at pittspowerfit.com.
While you sleep, there are people you've never met who are working hard to make your morning. People who get up at ungodly hours to make sure you get the information you want. People who dedicate their lives to make yours better while you sleep. These people come together during the Big K Morning Show with Larry Richert, 5:30 to 10 in the morning, to make sure you have the best news, traffic, and weather to start your day. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell. Licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. President Trump says he's raising tariffs on cars and trucks from the European Union to 25%, claiming that the bloc had failed to fully comply with the trade agreement negotiated with the U.S. Trump said the levies would not apply to automobiles built in U.S. facilities. Under a transatlantic trade deal, the EU had agreed to erase levies on U.S. industrial goods in exchange for a 15% tariff ceiling on most EU products, but the agreement has faced challenges since the initial deal. The Berkshire Hathaway annual shareholders meeting is taking place this weekend. Berkshire shares have underperformed the S&P 500 since legendary investor Warren Buffett announced his retirement a year ago, with longtime top deputy Greg Abel taking over. The company's market value has declined $139 billion over that time. Buffett, though, will sit with other board members in the crowd. Markets are mixed, with the Dow down around 0.2%. The S&P 500 is seeing gains of around 0.5%, while the Nasdaq is up close to 1%. Dan Schwartzman, Bloomberg Radio.
Have an issue in your community? Talk about it now with Marty Griffin. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
I love him because he's a local dude, but he went to West Point. He's a war hero, seriously, combat veteran. Went to Penn, which is, no one goes to Penn for law. He's just cool, man. And he hangs with Trump. And he gets to shake hands with the king. Yet he still names off joints in Aliquippa where he went to have pizza. I love him. He loves this whole process of being a Pittsburgher and true to his roots, and I love the guy. We've become very good friends. We're going to work on some projects together to make a difference in this town. The weird dynamic at the networks right now, and I find it to be odd, and I know Patrick does because he's been at this as long as and he's actually managed a lot of people and hired a lot of people in the business, is that when Patrick started out, and when he's putting together, whether it's a radio program or a television newscast, you hire people who are just going to deliver the facts and the news. Now what happens if you're hiring people at Fox or CNN? Well, look what CNN does. They put, and Scott Jennings is talented as hell. He's just quick-witted. He just is. And he's feisty. He likes to fight with people. They surround him with, every single night, every day, with like 5 or 6 insanely flaming liberals. So liberal you want to choke them. No, honestly, like annoying liberals. You know what I mean, Patrick? Like gross liberals.
Yeah, it's a formula they learned from Fox.
Yes, exactly.
Because Fox did the complete opposite for a very long time. They still do.
So Fox puts one, it's actually weird. They put one flaming liberal on there, and they kick his ass.
Yep.
They surround them.
Every day, 5 days a week.
And David, CNN, I think they have 2 conservatives, David Urban, right, and Scott Jennings. That's kind of it, right? The whole staff.
Yeah. There's a couple others they sprinkle in, but you wouldn't recognize them.
No, you wouldn't.
Saw them.
And same with Fox. And they act as if they're being fair and balanced, but they're really not.
These are talk shows.
I think CNN's trying a little harder, but I don't know. I love Jake Tapper. I think he's brilliant and fair, but Trump annoys him, and he makes it very clear every day.
Yep.
But, Patrick, when you were hiring news anchors, if someone like Jake Tapper, who's supposed to be a news guy, you wouldn't let him be what he is 20 years ago. Just wouldn't. None of the business would allow it, ever.
No. And as journalists, you absolutely don't go that route. But they're not journalists on these cable networks, for the most part. These are talk show hosts.
They would argue that they are, because Patrick's right.
They would argue.
And they're right,
They started out as journalists, but a lot of these folks, they are not journalists anymore.
I don't agree. I just think the game's changed a bit. And quite frankly, you're talking to someone that's believed in the process of being proactive about journalism from the time I started. And I'll tell you why. And Patrick knows this because we're partners in this madness. Let's say we go to a fire, me and Patrick. Here's what we do. And I'm being blunt about this. We don't look for the fire chief. We don't. We don't look for the fire investigators, the arson guys. We're not looking for the cause of the fire. We go to the fire and we look for the family, and we sit down on the curb and say, hey, I think we can help you. And so, in other words, we become advocates. What the networks have decided is that they're benefiting from opinion, Patrick. That's their shtick.
It is. And they've all done it.
By the way, to this day, Fox crushes everyone. It's not even close. It just isn't. But what CNN tried to do is grab a couple conservatives, and David's one of them.
Yeah, they tried to reverse the formula.
They did. And it kind of sort of works.
It works until it doesn't.
But with Fox and with Scott Jennings last night and that kid, play that again if you have it, buddy. It got ugly. He probably would have punched him, Patrick. He probably wanted to, right?
He sure seemed like he wanted to.
And the kid is a liberal. He's actually very smart. He wanted him to get worked up. Go ahead.
I was only a few years old while you were in the administration defending prior endless wars. Now this war is failing.
8 weeks is endless to you?
Okay, you said it was going to be 4 to 6 weeks.
You have the attention span of a gnat?
Homie, I debated you on TV 4 to 6 weeks ago, and you said we were weeks away from it. Now you're making condescending remarks because you can't defend the fact that this war is not going your way. Wait, one more time.
Not going your way.
Name one political concession. Name one political concession.
Whoa.
Honestly,
I'm not going to have this guy's
everybody,
in my face.
everybody, hang tight.
Honestly.
Okay. No, everybody, calm down.
Hey, Trevin. Trevin is insanely chill, unbelievably mature. What do you think of that stuff? I'm sorry, I'm eating peanut butter. Trevin, what do you think of that kind of stuff?
If I may.
Yeah, please.
In my opinion, a reflection of society right there. Because what happens is, if someone doesn't agree with you, we have, in this country, and because of the climate, because of what's going on, you have people that believe, people that don't believe. And I think I said this to Patrick. It hurts me that if I disagree with you, or if I say something you don't agree with, automatically you either insult me or I become your enemy.
Yeah, but let me say this, because you're right. But this isn't newer news.
No, it's not.
Hold on. Back in the day, they actually did, the guy, they go back to back, and they march off 10 paces, and they turn around. Presidential candidates did this.
And haven't we grown past that?
No.
That became illegal. You're talking about dueling? That became illegal. That became illegal.
But my man, there has been debate since the beginning of time. And here's, because I live this and learn it. If you don't have that conflict on a show, my man, ain't no one watching, brother.
I'm not mad at that, but that's entertainment.
It is. It actually is.
I mean, debates are good. They are healthy. It's good to get other viewpoints.
But that got tested.
Correct.
That guy wanted to aggravate him, and then he wanted to aggravate the other guy.
But then you heard the name calling. That's my thing. You and I can disagree. I don't have to call you a name.
No, it's true.
If I call you a name, I can call you by your name. I can say, Marty, look, I disagree with you.
And I also think it's why Urban doesn't get the profile that Scott gets, because Scott lights people on fire. And David doesn't have it in his DNA. Just my take. Thanks, brothers. We'll be right back.
Join KDKA Radio Saturday at noon for Minority Health Matters, a monthly look at health disparities in the African American community. It's brought to you by Central Outreach Wellness Center, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
When he's good, he's thorough good.
When he's bad, he's the baddest. George Thorogood and the Destroyers, the baddest show on earth. August 30th, the Palace Theater. Reserve seats on sale now at thepalacetheater.org. George Thorogood and the Destroyers. Produced by Drusky Entertainment.
How was your break? It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So, even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code WAGON for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WAGON for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's WAGON.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 55 degrees under cloudy skies at 1 o'clock at Pittsburgh International. I'm Pat Septak. The news is brought to you by PJ Fitzpatrick. 45 years of experience and thousands of five-star reviews. Trust PJ.com. And new this hour, Spirit Airlines may shut down as soon as tomorrow. More from CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace.
Spirit had been talking with the Trump administration about a $500 million aid package, but the airline's bondholders balked at the proposal, and the airline is running out of cash. It's $5 billion in the red. The recent surge in jet fuel prices because of the war in Iran hasn't helped. Sources tell CBS News the administration will not make any last-minute effort to bail out Spirit. Travel experts say customers holding tickets for canceled Spirit flights will have to try to get refunds through their credit card companies. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Meanwhile, Pittsburgh's finances are tightening. New numbers show the city spent tens of millions more than it brought in last year. News Radio KDKA's Tamara Rush has the details.
City Controller Rachel Heisler said the city is now feeling the loss of federal pandemic aid, finishing 2025 with a nearly $45 million deficit.
Without the American Rescue Plan, we would have had a deficit in 2023 and 2024, and now here we are in 2025. The American Rescue Plan dollars account for almost exactly the net loss in 2025.
Heisler says revenues dropped while expenses climbed, and the city dipped into its rainy day fund. Heisler warns spending hasn't adjusted to the new reality and says moving forward, the city needs stricter budgeting and new long-term revenue sources. Tamara Rush, News Radio KDKA.
Would you rather drink water from your tap or use bottled water? Pittsburgh Water today has launched a public education campaign called Pittsburgh Drinks Tap that aims to build confidence in the quality and safety of Pittsburgh's drinking water. In the wake of a $470 million upgrade. At a news conference this morning, Melville's Compass Point Coffee said it had switched from bottled water to Pittsburgh tap water, not just because it's less expensive, but also based on its quality. Well, police in western Oklahoma are investigating a mysterious death of a state Senate candidate. CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace has more on that.
Republican Barry Christian was reported missing after he didn't show up for a meeting on Tuesday. Thursday, his body was found in his truck in a ravine in a wildlife management area just south of the city of Eric.
About 2.5 miles into this reserve here.
Hunter McKee is with the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation.
How the vehicle got here, why the vehicle's here, we're still looking into all of that right now.
He says as of now, investigators do not suspect foul play. They are awaiting autopsy results.
We are working around the clock.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The man who was convicted of first-degree murder in February in the death of his missing girlfriend has now been sentenced to life in prison without parole. Thomas Stanko was accused of killing Cassandra Gross
who had disappeared back in 2018. He's also been sentenced to serve an additional 42 to 84 months for a related conviction of reckless burning. Her burnt-out vehicle had been found several days after she had disappeared. The body of Gross has never been found. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 24 points, the Nasdaq is up 248 points, and the S&P 500 is up 36. KDKA Sports, the Pirates hosting the Reds tonight at 6:45. Mitch Keller gets the start for the Bucks. KDKA Radio News Time is 1:03. And the temperature currently at 58 degrees under cloudy skies in Pittsburgh. The AccuWeather forecast next.
Progressive knows you think the grass is always greener, like maybe you ride a motorcycle. But today, it's raining. So you wish you had an RV, but if you did, you'd have to listen to some guy parked next to you at a campsite play his acoustic guitar. Now, before you start wishing you had a boat, remember, your brother-in-law would invite himself every weekend.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
But one thing that is greener is the money you could save when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
You know the rush when you reach that goal, when something you've worked for pays off. That's success. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move your career forward. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science. Build your leadership and critical thinking skills. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 13th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Are you turning 65 and have questions about Medicare? Aetna has Medicare Advantage plans that include prescription drug coverage in Pennsylvania with a $0 monthly plan premium. Plus, the plans include benefits like dental, vision, and hearing. You may also qualify for a monthly credit toward your Part B premium. Call Aetna today at 1-888-76-AETNA to learn more.
Aetna Medicare is an HMO PPO plan with a Medicare contract. Our D-SNPs also have contracts with state Medicaid programs. Enrollment in our plans depends on contract renewal. Plan features and availability may vary by service area.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
The rest of today will be quite cool with plenty of clouds, some rain, and even a rumble of thunder, high 52 to 56. A stray evening shower, then partly cloudy and cold later tonight. Watch out for some frost, low 34. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Hi, this is Father Tom Burke of the Diocese of Pittsburgh. Join me for Catholic Education Plus as we listen to two teachers and how their story started in our Catholic school hallways and now they're side-by-side teaching. Catholic Education Plus airs this Sunday morning at 6:30 on KDK Radio.
He's live, he's local, he's Marty Griffin. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
You've heard of mystery meat, right? Remember when your mom... Well, I do, because we were always, we were poor growing up. We had nothing, honestly. If we had meat, we always say, what is this, Mom? The mystery meat. And why am I telling this? Because that's what happens with Pittsburgh and money. They have this mystery budget. And we come to find out that without this Rescue Act money, which is about $330 million, we'd be done, buried, fried, screwed. But what it did was... it kept us alive when maybe we should have accepted reality several years ago and made some changes, and now here we are in a deficit situation, which the city controller, Rachel Heisler, which is why I love her, pointed out with really facts. And the numbers don't lie, do they, Rachel? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Marty. Thanks for having me here today.
The truth is the truth, right? The numbers are the numbers, right?
Yeah, the city spent more than it brought in last year. And as I've said for the last 2 years, this is my third annual comprehensive financial report. Thank goodness for the American Rescue Plan. It kept us afloat and buoyed revenue in the aftermath of the pandemic. But unfortunately, it masked a problem, and we are spending more than we are bringing in. And that is what the act told us. For 2025, we spent $44 million more than we brought in.
Yeah, and that's dangerous, is it not, Rachel?
It is not a great place to be in. It cannot be a trend that continues. We have always known that 2025 and 2026 were going to be very tight years. And excuse me.
Okay.
We knew that this was going to be a really delicate position in the aftermath of the pandemic. These COVID relief dollars were going to run out. We had two really big debt service payments in 25 and 26. And the 2025 annual comprehensive financial report gives us a picture of where we are. It lets us know how bad the problem is. And, hopefully the budget will give us a path to get out of it.
How do you get out of it, Rachel Heisler? How?
Well, in the short term, the revenue increase that the millage increase that City Council passed at the end of the year does solve part of the problem. Revenue in the real estate taxes is up in 2026. The growth in downtown, the Arts Landing and Market Square changes show promise for our changing downtown landscape. And we need to talk about growth regionally and growth in the city. We need to be very focused on how to get people to come and stay here. Our population in the city has stabilized compared to what it had been in 2000 and 2010 and, looking further back before I lived here. But we need to be focused on growth, and we need to focus on development and inclusive development and making sure we're doing everything we can to get people to live here, to work here, and to stay here. Wait.
Without growth, you have two options: raise taxes or cut spending, right? Or both?
We are limited. I'm really pleased that the O'Connor administration has pursued relationships with our nonprofit partners. We brought in money from UPMC, the University of Pittsburgh, and the PNC Foundation. Hopefully those will yield long-term voluntary payment agreements with those three institutions, perhaps, and hopefully others. But we need to continue to focus on growth. And we can, right now we have the resources to continue to deliver those core city services, right? Public safety and public works. We have, it'd be great if we had a few more vehicles to do that. Public safety and public works, and we need to focus on core city services and those essential services. And that's what the city needs to just continue to do.
Hey, Rachel Heisler, the city controller. Hey, Rachel, were we misled? Was the previous administration a tad disingenuous about the health and revenue of the city of Pittsburgh?
What I'll tell you is what I've been telling the public since I started in this job is that we need to be really honest with the public about where things are headed with city finances so that people understand if there's a delay in getting their street paved or if they see changes in hours to pools or rec centers. It's my perspective that we just need to be as honest and forthcoming with information as it relates to city finances with the public so that we understand what we're working. We're all working from the same set of information. And from my perspective, that's what the ACFR does, is it gives everybody a roadmap. We're all working from the same set of facts. And this gives City Council and the administration the tools to set the 2027 budget, priorities for the remainder of this year. And hopefully, we'll continue to figure our way out of this situation that we're in.
Rachel Heisler. Hey, Rachel, the apocalyptic folks say, here we go, Act 47, bankrupt. Is it that scary?
I do not believe we are on the verge of Act 47. The pension is very, very healthy. That is a distinguishing characteristic from where we were in 2004, rather. The pension is 78% funded.
Oh, nice.
That's 35% healthier than it was, I think, probably even more than that in 2004. We have to continue making our annual contributions to the Comprehensive Municipal Pension Fund and make sure we can honor our commitment to workers and retirees. And the other thing that's really unique about what we're going through right now as a municipality is this is happening across the country. Every single municipality and county that had COVID dollars run out at the end of 2024 is figuring their way out of a similar situation right now. So even places that you and I think of as fast growing, Atlanta, Austin, Phoenix, they're also dealing with budget shortfalls. So we all, as cities, are dealing with this right now. And I think it was a flaw of the American Rescue Plan Act, right? We should have had longer to spend the money to have less of a cliff at the end of 2024. But here we are. And what will distinguish Pittsburgh is how we get out of it and how we navigate our way out of the financial situation that we're in.
Rachel, you know the numbers and you know the city. This is your town like it's my town. Give me your best view. You hopeful we can turn it around and grow? Or are you a little bit nervous?
I feel very confident about the trajectory of city finances. I feel confident with the administration being transparent, reopening the budget to accurately account for the expenditures that we're going to have in 2026. As I mentioned earlier in this conversation, the best thing that we can do is to be honest with the public about the true cost of government. And reopening the budget earlier in April is a step in the right direction with that, accounting for the fact that we're going to have to pay the water bill, accounting for the fact that, fuel is rising rapidly, accounting for the fact that we're going to have higher expenses than we had budgeted for at the end of last year. That is a step in the right direction. And continuing to do things and to meet with businesses and encourage growth and investment in Pittsburgh. That is the best thing we can do as a city right now, and we need to continue to do that.
I'm feeling the same thing she is. Rachel Heisler, Truth to Power. You're the best. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Marty. Happy marathon weekend. Have a good one.
She's a rock star, ma'am.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. Ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
Life-saving, life-changing information. UPMC. Love it.
The best words to hear at the TSA security checkpoint? You're good to go. All it takes is a little preparation. Get to the airport early, bring a carry-on bag that fits in the overhead, and have an acceptable ID. Not all state-issued IDs will cut it. Check out tsa.gov/ID and see which TSA acceptable IDs make the grade, like a real ID or passport.
Before you jet, do a little prep, and you're good to go. Check out tsa.gov/ID or the MyTSA app.
Allegheny County is looking for poll workers to work the election on May 19th. Poll workers earn $150 to $175 for the day plus paid training. For more info and to apply, visit AlleghenyVotes.com. That's AlleghenyVotes.com.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I love her. Numbers don't lie. She's very honest and very pragmatic, very responsive, impartial, fair-minded, doesn't go after people, just tells the damn truth, does her damn job. I respect and admire that. I got a couple notes about Art's Landing because I had mentioned my concern and Max's concern and Patrick's and everyone else that has been to Art's Landing. And by the way, we praised them. We had their chairman and president on, basically saying it's wonderful, it's beautiful. That's Pittsburgh's version of Central Park. Fine. But the issue I raised is the issue that some folks expressed consternation that I should, how dare that I would say this. My issue is that you worry about the cockroaches coming back into the Arts Landing area as soon as they bring the fences down. Wow. I'm getting texts about Market Square and this new plan. And I'm texting the owner of Moe's, who's my friend. And I want to see what he thinks about this new plan. I apologize. I'm doing this as we speak. And so a woman got testy with me that I even suggested that could happen because she said they're going to have their own security and they have cameras, which, by the way, we laid all this out. There's 66 cameras. Those cameras have the ability to actually talk back to you. In other words, get up and move. And they're going to have private security. That's fine. Here's what often happens, even with cops, because I saw it in Market Square, and I know they own the property themselves. What do you do when 5 drug addicts come in and lay on the ground? I'm being blunt. What do? With your private security cops? What do you do when 30 teens come in? Start breaking stuff with your silly and honestly, these kids are going to think it's silly. We're a silly little speaker asset in the move. They're going to tell you to screw off. We just stole 100 cars and our mommy told us to go out and steal some more. What are you going to do? I apologize if I'm a tad cynical because I've seen this movie before. How are you going to monitor the idiot that runs through there with spray paint? And I'm not being the hater that you think I am. I've lived this. I've watched this. And so for the folks that's saying I'm being critical, I'm being skeptical and cynical and wary. Okay? So I'm getting this idea that, Patrick, this is kind of interesting. So they are fencing off Market Square. And I'm getting this information as I'm talking to you, so give me time. So they're fencing off. By the way, I love this idea. They're fencing off Market Square. And last night was the first run. This is actually wild. You're not allowed in at night unless you're 18 or older. This is actually fascinating. Or accompanied by an adult. Wow.
That is interesting. Now, is that a permanent thing, or is this just for Marathon Weekend now?
I was told they're trying this. This is the first run last night. Let me tell you.
And how's that going to work with no cops at night?
They have cops.
I mean, overnight.
They have cops. Okay. That's part of this new plan.
Wow.
No. I'm kind of blown away by this. And I'm texting someone who's on an airplane and providing me this information.
Forgive me if this sounds crazy, Marty, but that's just like becoming an outdoor mall. I mean, think about it. It's like an outdoor mall. You have it fenced off. You have security.
So what?
And you can't go in unless you're 18 or older at night.
If I own the restaurant and everyone's afraid to come to my restaurant, or someone's overdosed and dead in the bathroom because they shot up. Okay, now I'm hearing it's being tested. They have barriers. Oh, I see. Okay, this makes sense, Patrick. And Trevin. So, Trevin, you're saying it's not completely fenced off. There are barriers at entry points, which I guess you could argue is fenced off.
Yeah.
And they're monitoring the entry points.
Yeah.
And they're making sure that... By the way, they did this at Kennywood because they had all these idiots acting like idiots, and so you had to come in, you had to have someone who's 18. My man, if they do this enough and ruin that massive investment, then what do we end up with? You got to do something to control the flow of drug addicts, alcoholics. From my business owner friend, I love it. Just at the fact that the attempt is being made. I agree. To Trevin's point, here's my thing, Trevin. Do you want to create a prison?
It's not a prison.
Do you want to put barbed wire at the top? I'm not trying to be a jerk, but to Trevin's point, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're making it a sort of a public-private space. You're restricting access.
You are.
Which
you are.
I mean, if it's full of riffraff that's damaging the businesses that are there, and no one wants to go there, then you got to do something.
Thus, the doorman at a bar or restaurant.
Exactly.
This becomes that, Trevin, except they're standing outside.
Right, but there's so many different issues there, so many variables that you can deal with when you're talking about people who are maybe on drugs or people who are drunk or whatever. The people that you don't want to have in that area, I get it, and I don't want to put anybody down because I'm just like all of you, period. And I'm just looking at this as maybe I have some innocence when I'm looking at it, but I'm looking at it as being an outdoor mall because it's going to increase business. It makes the businesses feel secure. And then actually the city is applying, taking care of the responsibility it has to monitor. I mean, it doesn't sound outrageous to me. It doesn't sound crazy.
I love your perspective. And he's saying, Trevin, they're trying several iterations. So this is kind of a work. I love that they didn't just blow it off and say, all right, good luck. I love it.
I love that they're paying attention, but now provide services to the people that need the services. Don't just kick them to the curb. And I'm not talking.
By the way, that's a magnificent point.
True, and now that they've pretty much taken there's no driving traffic through Market Square anymore because of the way they've reconfigured it, they can now do this.
Yeah. So, Trevin, they're going to have to try something similar at the Arts Landing. Because it's a bigger space.
Well,
wide open.
What I learned about Arts Landing when I was there and speaking to someone who was working there, they're putting pickleball courts there.
Oh, really? I wouldn't doubt it.
As well. So it'll be interesting to see what the concept is. Well, it'll be interesting to see what the final plan is for Arts Landing. And if they have pickleball courts there, that means fences are going to stay up. I would think.
No, she told me they're taking them down.
Yeah, the plan for now is not to have fences. But,
but I don't, Trevin, I think it's a work, you know what I mean? I think they're learning every day, right?
I agree.
My man, that was $30 million. Of
course.
I ain't flushing that down no toilet.
What I would stand upon, Pittsburgh, is the fact that people are now paying attention. The money has been spent. Are you going to take care of it? Or are you going to use an excuse and lose it based on the excuse that you use?
Well, I wouldn't go down there with my kids if there's guys getting high and beating the hell out of people, and people are getting stabbed and shot and robbed.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Groups of teens running around assaulting people.
I don't necessarily agree with the picture that you guys paint sometimes.
Well, you've been down there.
But
I have.
I live down there. What are you talking about?
No, you don't. You don't live in the
area.
Square.
I live in the area, Marty.
So
Come
what?
on now. Let's
hey,
not
man,
go
I've
there,
been in there when people were stabbed
I'm
and
not,
robbed. I interview people who were knocked out cold.
I'm not saying that anything that you said or present is wrong. You know I support you. I'm behind what you guys do.
I need you to understand what's going on there.
I understand what's going on. And I know you don't need my support, but I'm going to give it to you anyway.
I'm not saying that.
What I'm saying is that I've been in the area, and I don't agree with the picture that's being painted all the time. There has to be hope. People have to have hope. You have to stand up and say, okay,
hope, my man.
and
If
take
someone's robbed,
there's always hope, bro.
No, there isn't. If you don't own the CVS.
I don't own
you can't
anything.
Yell over me, man.
But there's
you don't own the CVS that was getting robbed 7 times a day.
Got you.
You don't own the coffee shop that's been there 100 years, and they're talking about closing down.
Agreed.
You don't own the restaurant that had to shut down because 20 people were smoking crack in front of it yesterday.
Agreed. I totally agree with all that. Yes, sir. I agree with that. I'm not disputing anything that you do. Because as I said to you before, I appreciate that you put eyes on people who are invisible and people who can't be heard. You give them a voice.
All right, my man. I love the fact that they're trying something and not giving up. Got to take a break. Right back.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Being diagnosed with leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, or one of over 100 other types of blood cancer makes people want more time to do the things they love. That means more time to be artists, prom dates, world travelers, and moms. We are Blood Cancer United, the world's leading organization focused solely on blood cancer research, support, and advocacy. We do the most for more people with blood cancer, so people with blood cancer can do more of whatever they want. Blood Cancer United. Join us at bloodcancerunited.org.
Hey, it's Pony for my friends at Comer & Cross. Does your garage floor have cracked and stained concrete? Mine did. Maybe your garage floor had a bad epoxy or paint job. A new Comer & Cross garage floor is going to transform your whole garage, and all it's going to take is one day. I love mine, and you'll love yours. If you call them right now, and you should do it, don't waste another second. They'll take 50% off your installation. So here's that number, 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard. It is guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. And just like they did for me, they will make it so easy for you. Stuff in your garage, they'll take it out. Cracks and pits, they'll fix them perfectly. Look just like new. And they're going to put their proprietary Comer & Cross finish on it. So I want you to call them now and get that 50% off installation. The number is 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. 800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com. It's Comer & Cross Premium Concrete Coating.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 54 degrees with showers in the vicinity at Pittsburgh International at 1:30. I'm Pat Septak. The 4th of July will mark not only the country's 250th birthday, but it's also the deadline unionized nurses at UPMC McGee Women's Hospital have given the provider to reach a contract. And a contract that includes what they call national staffing standards. Nurses have been calling on UPMC to adopt a 1-to-1 ratio between nurses and patients at McGee's neonatal unit. They are also calling for more pay and benefits. UPMC has said that rigid ratios can create unintended consequences, including closing beds and limiting a patient's access to care. The number of homicides handled by the Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office is now 21 cases for the year. 9 of those are from April alone, though one of the April cases, the death of 28-year-old Stephen Peak, happened outside of Allegheny County. Pittsburgh City Controller unveiled a new report showing a $45 million deficit in the city's latest financial results. News Radio KDKA's Tamara Rush has the details.
City Controller Rachel Heisler says the deficit is also showing up in the city's shrinking rainy day fund, which ended 2025 at about $166 million. The
2024 fund balance was at $199.9 million. The 2025 figure represents a decrease of $33.8 million. Budget projections have this figure decreasing to $79 million by the end of 2030, representing the fund balance as 11% of expenditures.
Heisler pointed to rising costs and relatively flat revenue growth, even with gains in several tax categories, including increases in deed transfer, earned income, payroll preparation, and parking taxes. She says the city will need to tighten spending and refocus on core services moving forward. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 7 points, the Nasdaq is up 291 points, and the S&P 500 is up 44. KDKA Radio News Time is 1:32. Our next newscast coming up at 2 o'clock right here on News Radio KDKA.
PGT Trucking celebrates 45 years of flatbed excellence. Established in 1981 in Beaver County,
PGT continues to lead the trucking industry by providing safe and trusted transportation solutions. For their flatbed truck drivers, PGT has been named a 2026 Best Fleets to Drive For company, receiving the award 4 years in a row because of their top driver pay and home time options. Learn more about PGT Trucking at pgttrucking.com.
Attention Pittsburgh area residents. If you have Medicaid and need help with activities of basic living, Freedom Care can make it easy. With Freedom Care, the person who cares for you can be someone you love, your family, your friend, or a trusted neighbor. They can assist you with meals, bathing, eating, mobility, and more. And Medicaid pays them for your care. You stay in the home you love, surrounded by the people you choose, and it's 100% free to you. Don't wait. Call Freedom Care now. Call 412-674-5196. With Freedom Care, you get the care you need, and your loved one gets paid instantly after every shift. Feel better, heal better, and live better at home with Freedom Care. Call 412-674-5196 or visit freedomcare.com today. That's 412-674-5196. Again, 412-674-5196. 412-674-5196.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Turning cloudy for the rest of today. It'll be quite cool this afternoon with rain at times, even a rumble of thunder, high 52 to 56. A stray evening shower, then partly cloudy and cold later tonight with patchy frost, low 34. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The Pittsburgh Power and Fitness Festival returns May 16th and 17th at the DLCC. Witness elite bodybuilding, strength sports, and martial arts. Shop the massive expo and meet fitness celebrities. Get tickets now at pittspowerfit.com.
Hi, this is Larry Richard. Join us Monday on the Big K Morning Show, 5:30 until 10. How did the marathon go? We'll tell you. And look ahead, a lot going on this week in the Berg.
Woo, 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 woo. Friday, pizza night. Every night, every Friday night, there's a debate in the Griffin house as to where we go for pizza. It's kind of fun. Whoa. Wow. Just going down now, a guy has had his house raided by the FBI. This is local. Wow. Hold on, I'm going through this right now. Raymond Chandler had his house raided by the FBI this morning. He's a Wilkinsburg man. Charged with threatening Fetterman and his family. John Fetterman. Wow. FBI. And threatening the President of the United States. Kind of along the lines of what we were talking about. All three of us are with David Urban, isn't it? Isn't it? The tone and the rhetoric. In fact, and hold on, Jess, we'll get to you 1 second. In fact, one of our salespeople came in because he had heard that I have been threatened many times.
Yep.
And he was kind of flabbergasted. I said, it's kind of the play. I'm not dismissing it, and neither are you, and neither is Trevin. But it's kind of the play. It just is.
Well, yeah, when you have to take a stance on something to get things changed and done, sometimes you ruffle feathers, and it ticks people off.
So along those lines, this is also, obviously, this is a developing story, which I'll repeat here, and then we'll get to Jess. It looks like a Wilkinsburg man has just been snatched up by the FBI, 40-year-old guy. He's running for Senate. Are you saying this anywhere, Patrick?
I'm not, but I'm going to start looking for it in a second.
Raymond Chandler. I've never heard his name, but he was just arrested by the FBI, charged with threatening the congressman and his family and the President of the United States. These are the dangerous times we're in. Transitioning to something positive, Dr. Jess from Physical. Good morning, my friend. How are you? She there? Hey, Jess.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. So here's why I love what you do. This is why she's so cool. I'm texting her last night for one of my friends, and this is why I love her. And this is why what she does is so important. By the way, I like the hair. It looks cool. Looks cool.
Thank you.
So one of my friends, and he's very public about this, he has Bell's palsy, and he's very frustrated, kind of depressed about it and anxious. Describe what that is, Jess, and how you said you could help him. I love this.
Bell's palsy is damage to a nerve within the face. I actually had Bell's palsy when I was in high school.
Oh, wow.
A lot of times it looks like you're having a stroke because you have paralysis of one side of your face due to the damage to your peripheral nerve. So what happens is you don't have the ability to close your eye. You don't have the ability to close your mouth. Your face is drooping. And what we do is through physical therapies help to improve the muscle activation. I actually have a patient right now who I am seeing for Bell's palsy. He is a reverend, and he initially came in because he was difficulty speaking and preaching at his church on Sundays, and he was becoming a little embarrassed by it as well. He wasn't able to drink water without it dribbling out of the side of his mouth. And so we've been working really hard over the past couple of weeks, and now he's able to have facial symmetry. He just lights up whenever he comes in now. Wow. We do a lot of mirror work where I have him watch himself in the mirror to make sure that his facial movements are symmetrical or equal on both sides. And his smile is symmetrical, and he's getting much better at everything, honestly.
Wow. So my man couldn't do his job, and now he can.
And now he can. And now he has the confidence again. That's the biggest thing that I will say is that he wasn't confident, and he was feeling embarrassed whenever he was preaching, whenever he would drink. Whenever he came in, I always offer my patients water because hydration is very important, Marty. He would decline the water every single time because he was embarrassed because the water would leak out of the corner of his mouth because he didn't have the strength in his muscles. So now he accepts the water. He's feeling more confident speaking and preaching, and he's traveling a lot more too because he has that confidence up.
Which kind of, this is Dr. Jess at Physical, 412-457-8200. 412-457-8200. It's the same discussion we have about neuropathy. If you give up, then you give up and you get depressed. But there is always hope, and you got to find it, or you end up quitting, and that's disastrous, isn't it?
It is, Marty. We have a lot of patients that come in because they've lost hope, and our job is to give them back that hope because hope is not lost. I had a patient who came in just this week where she was in tears because she's tried working with chiropractors. She's tried going to the neuropathy clinics, and she's just in constant pain. And excuse me, I took a moment and I sat there with her and I just listened with her, and I let her cry, and I held her hand, and I told her about the amazing therapists that we have here, the amazing technology that we have here that is truly going to make a difference in her life. And she is beyond excited to start therapy now, Marty. And a lot of times we just need to take a moment and listen and connect with people, and that makes a world of a difference, especially
Dr. Jess with Physical. So with the Bell's palsy, how did you get past it? Because the problem with my buddy is he thought, this will last a month. Now we're into a year. How did you get past it?
I got past it fairly quickly. I was in high school when it happened, as I said, and I did some physical therapy myself, so I was able to come back fairly quickly. However, I will say my patient right now, who's a reverend, he thought it was going to come back in a month as well. He's now on month 3 out. However, like I said, he's now having facial symmetry because he's putting in the work and he's using the technology that we have here at our clinic. If you don't work with it and if you don't do the stimulation to the nerves that you need, it's not going to come back.
Hey, we haven't mentioned his name and I'm not going to, but did he text you yet? I got to make sure he's...
He did not. He did not, Marty. You got to yell at him.
Hold on. No. This is why I get irritated as hell, and she knows this. He was freaking out last night. What time was I What time was I bothering you? Let me see what time I was annoying her. It was kind of late, and she was answering because I love her, and she's always available. 7:20 last night. I literally texted him and said, she's up right now. Text her. So he blew it off. Not being critical, but this is a big issue, is it not, Jess?
It definitely is, because it takes a lot of effort, and you have to have the right mindset to take that next step.
Yeah. And a certain amount of courage.
You definitely have to have courage, because it's not just courage to go into a new place and meet new people. Wow. It's courage admitting that what you're currently doing isn't working. It's courage to admit that you want to go beyond where you're currently at.
Now I'm aggravated. I'm going to be texting him as soon as we hang up. Dr. Jess at Physical. Apparently you got to make the call and set up the therapy to actually get help. Is that true, Jess?
Apparently you do. That's the best results that we found, Marty, is when you not only call to make the appointment, but show up for it too.
457-8200. 412-457-8200. Thanks, my friend.
Thank you, Marty. Have a great weekend.
She's amazing. And I'm texting my boy right now.
Listen to the Marty Griffin Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Been 30, time would have been 30, no, would have been 30, being 30, been 29, if that'll help, been 29,000.
Get ready to bid on the equipment you need in the Ritchie Brothers Northeast Regional Auction on May 5th. Inventory is housed at locations in Pittsburgh, North Franklin, and Northeast Maryland, with in-person inspections available. Bid on a wide selection of construction and transportation equipment. Don't miss this great opportunity. Visit rbauction.com/Pittsburgh to sign up. Again, that's rbauction.com/Pittsburgh.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell. Licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Dell PCs with Intel inside are built for the moments you plan and the ones you don't. For the time you forgot your charger at the gate.
Passengers, we are now on our initial ascent.
Or when you're bouncing between projects like a ping pong ball. We build PCs with long-lasting battery life, so you're not scrambling for an outlet. And built-in intelligence, so you can stay focused on whatever you're doing. Dell Technologies, built for you. Dell.com/Dell PCs.
Lemonade! Fresh squeezed lemonade! Lemonade? Oh, nuts.
Is your business struggling to be seen? Not reaching the right customers?
Yeah.
Odyssey's here to help. Your one-stop shop for digital marketing.
Wait, really?
With targeted digital media, plus SEO, SEM, social, OTT, and more, we help your business reach the right audience and drive results.
Whoa, hey, one at a time.
Stop missing out on valuable customers. Visit digitallocalads.com to learn more about our local advertising solutions. That's digitallocalads.com.
Okay, people, line starts here.
Hearing the news every day is one thing. Hearing it hit home is something altogether different. That's the difference you hear every day on KDKA Radio. We go beyond the benign headlines and bring the news to life, your life. So stay here and hear the news and what a difference it makes. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Get connected. That's the Inside Connection this Saturday morning at 9 with your local Medicare experts from MediConnect. If you're turning 65, hear all the inside information available to seniors on the Inside Connection, presented by MediConnect. Medicare made simple.
You served behind the desk. You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted. You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you. When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Kid Rock, a celebration 250 years in the making. Freedom 250 Tour, The Road to Nashville. Saturday, June 20th at the Pavilion at Star Lake. The American Badass, Kid Rock, with John Party. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The ultimate American party, Kid Rock.
Miss Fernandez, what are those tiny things?
Those are what we call amoebas. You can only see them through a microscope.
Wow.
Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, there's a funding crisis in public schools. Millions of kids go to schools that don't have funding for books, computers, and so much more, just because of where they live. You can help change that. Donor Shoes is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. You choose which supplies to support. You could provide first graders with pencils and paper, or other students with their first chapter books, help a music class get a guitar.
You could even supply a classroom like mine with a science project. But what you're really giving is the moment that sparks a brighter tomorrow.
To learn more, please visit DonorsChoose.org. That's DonorsChoose.org. Choose students. Shape the future.
You've spent decades building your savings and planning for the future. Now the focus shifts from accumulation to protection, from growth to sustainable income you can depend on. Secure Money Advisors helps retirees build structured retirement plans designed to help protect what they've worked so hard to build and preserve. Go to righttrackbook.com to claim your complimentary copy today. That's righttrackbook.com, where your retirement journey begins on the right track.
It's Marty Griffin on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Wow, we've had this conversation before about these. In fact, how ironic we were having a conversation about some death threats directed towards me and how caustic everything's become. We had David Urban talking about it. Now we find out that this Patrick found his great job, Patrick. The video of this guy out of Wilkinsburg, Raymond Chandler, who the FBI arrested. It looks like this morning. House raided by the FBI. Running for Senate. He had some goofy slogan, Patrick. What is it? Better than Fetterman?
Better than Fetterman. He's got a couple of others too. Threatened
Fetterman and his family. And it says Trump, too. Charged with threatening Fetterman and his family. There's also an affidavit of this voicemail threat that's posted on WTAE site. Do you mind reading that, Patrick? This is kind of chilling.
Sure. Let's see. Let me...
This is why these men and women don't want to run for office, why there's so many calls for them to have more security. This is going on right now. No wonder his wife. We had Giselle Fetterman. Was it Monday?
Yeah. Yes.
And this is following that friggin' shooting at the Correspondents' Dinner Saturday night. Go ahead, Patrick.
Wow. It's a little disturbing here. So
yes, this is disturbing.
This is a voicemail left, I guess, for Mr. Fetterman. Sir, I'm calling this morning because I want you to imagine a scenario. I want you to imagine a scenario where all the 1,200 billionaires in this country, all their properties are surrounded simultaneously by 1,000 people. Imagine your house, your daughter's house, everyone you know and love who's also rich, and every one of those homes being surrounded by people. Then imagine them all getting a text, and then those people come in with pocket knives and cut their throats, essentially. Awful. And then he goes on. So during that same voicemail, Chandler told Fetterman he wanted him to walk to the Oval Office with a gun and assassinate the president.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It's very disturbing.
He's sitting there. Good work, Patrick. You found him in, what is he saying in this YouTube?
He's got a YouTube channel where he's got several videos. This is, I think, one of them where he introduces himself and he starts talking about.
Can we hear any of it?
No. It's a 3-minute long.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't have a snippet of it pulled.
Okay, sorry.
He talks about himself and essentially when it attacks the rich out of existence.
Not that we should know, but have you ever heard his name?
No, first time I've heard of him.
Me neither. By the way, they had last year threats to Congress, to senators and reps, more than 25,000 of them. You hear what I said? More than 25,000 of them. It's way beyond anyone's imagination how dangerous this has become. This guy is local. He looks younger. I mean, just looking at the video, he's sitting there drinking water, a cup of coffee, talking about himself from it looks like his home in Wilkinsburg. But it got very ugly. And let me say this, and I mean this. I hope they arrest him and bury him under the damn jail. I hope they make a public display of this, and I hope he goes to federal prison for 5 years. We had Giselle Fetterman on here live, and I love the woman. We had her live Monday. This is following that craziness. They were there. Her and John were in Washington. We're at the correspondence dinner when this. We've all seen it now. Tried to storm in there and wanted to hurt people. And how difficult this life is. And how she hates it. This anger and this rhetoric. And why wouldn't she? Honestly. And this wonderful woman does nothing but make a difference in her community. She has a free store, for God's sakes. Everything's free. She's raising 3 kids? Yeah. Her husband had a pretty bad stroke. Her husband is one of the most threatened men on earth. And she's laying under a table at a hotel in D.C. Saturday night thinking someone's coming here to kill all of us. And now they have to face this at home. I know John knows this because I've talked to him about this. He walks, and I would never say where, but he walks by himself. And that's public knowledge. A lot of people I know have seen him out. He shouldn't do that ever again. But Giselle has had graffiti sprayed in her business, has had people yell things, threats to her and her kids in front of them. This is not a life I would choose. This is why we talk about this all the time. This is why a lot of folks say, I ain't running for office. I'm not doing that. Once again, and Patrick, thanks, man, found that, read through these chilling charges, this 40-year-old Pittsburgh guy. Thank you to my man who sent me this info. I love you. Every single day. It's just, I am very nervous about the future and this violence and these outbursts from various people and the insanity of the madness of it. This man calling Fetterman's, I guess he called his cell phone or his home phone, and pretty much threatened to kill his family and the President of the United States and anyone else in authority with power or money. Good job to the feds. Hope he spends 5 years in prison. Colin Dunlap is next.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village